Guys, what is happening? Welcome to another episode of the Flip the Mindset podcast. I apologise, I have not been online. I took a wee break. I was focusing on the football teams and getting everything else into shape. And now we're back with a bang. We have got TikTok sensation Amanda. What's your second name?
Norwood.
Amanda, you had to think about that there. You were about to say Dugheed.
No, Amanda the Dug. No, I've got a few. Well, because my real dad's not my dad on, what's that? Right, my dad on your birth certificate.
Yeah.
Is no my dad. No, that's my dad, sorry. And my dad on my, you get those national insurance and the name you took is my dad that my mum married. That I found it wasn't my dad. And then I was married before. So, and then sometimes I take my mum's name. So it's a bit of a random, it's a bit of a flip.
Give me a couple of the names then. So a couple of schoolmates will be watching this.
Just Norwood.
Right, Norwood.
Just we'll stay with that because that's the name I go by, unfortunately. Oh.
Where did Dugheed come from?
Dugheed is probably about 5 months before COVID. I was in a long-term relationship, and my ex used to go to the gym and he'd nae neck and he used to walk about this. And I used to always say he's 2 kids. Your dad's got a head like a Doug. Old Dugheed there, so it came for that. So I was never really allowed social media in that relationship. It was a bit of a narcissistic controlling relationship. Mm-hmm. So when I managed to get out of jail, the kids had said, she was into TikTok, the wee lassie, the wee boys on Instagram. They were like, when you're young, you want extra followers. Aye. They were like, can we make a fake, not a fake account, but an account I was never going to use. And they were like, what we call you? And I just said, call me Dugheed. So when I'd left them, COVID came, started using it, and never changed it, and never really ever thought that people would be shouting Dugheed for plus Wendy's, you know what I mean?
It's not,
so
I'll be honest, it's not the story I was expecting.
No, it never is.
I thought it was going to be that time in Benidorm. I was, but the no-neck dog.
Me a dog.
a wee Benidorm story and a wee banged up
dog.
hotel. A wee Benidorm dog.
No doggy style anyway. It's just the fact that that's what it was, and it probably hates it because I get trolled by people still in that realm. Mm-hmm. So but that's the story I'm not going to change because that's the truth. So people always ask that, they go, you don't look like a Dugheed, what would you do? And I was like but I quite like it because if I meet people in the street and they say Amanda, I know they know me in life, but if they say Dugheed, mm-hmm. I know they follow me, know me social media. Right. So that's how I clarify who's who. Yeah,
quite right. It's a good indifference. So TikTok sensation. All right, so that must have happened through COVID, I'm taking it.
Mm-hmm, yep.
What was COVID like for you?
Oh, it was magical. Just drunk in my kitchen every day, doing live streams, getting followers, chatting to people. I was never lonely, because I came out of a relationship I really didn't want to leave. And then when COVID came, it was like everybody was like getting their DIY, doing their gardens up online. Yep. And then I would do live streams and I'd get to chat to people, sitting in the kitchen drunk, they'd be sitting in their kitchen and I'd bring them onto my live stream or whether it's Instagram or TikTok. And it was just really getting to know people and laughing, but it was only for hours and it was like a night out every day. Mm-hmm.
It was a fantastic time, COVID, wasn't it, when you think about it?
It's sad to say COVID was a fantastic time, but it's either or for some people.
Aye.
They went through bad times and, but I just kept in my own wee bubble. I live alone, so I didn't have anybody to ever really worry about, like getting the baby to bed or getting, like me and my man arguing and finding out with no one love anymore because COVID was hard when you're stuck in the same area all the time.
When did you split up? Before COVID or during then?
No, about 5 months before COVID. About five months before.
So you went into COVID kind of in that not knowing place. Mm-hmm. Were you in a difficult place?
No. I was... They say that, put it this way, it was a type of relationship like this, right? The police were always involved with the two of us. And I remember when they drove me home, they said, it takes a woman 33 times to leave a man. And you've called us up 34 times just this year. And I went, okie dokie. So I knew I was doing the right thing, you know what I mean? Yeah. And why the police looked nice, I was like, I am.
They become your counsellors. Was it the same police all the time?
It was the same constant. It was sad because they were like, why did you go back? And then they were picking me up again and I thought, we're wasting their time, you know what I mean? But it did take me that length of time because it's almost like when you love somebody but you love them and they love us, but then who the fuck's loving me, do you know what I mean? So but then I started to realise I'm back to me again, and even better because...
So why do you think, this is a question that's asked a lot and I think it's asked ignorantly sometimes, there's obviously lots of complex reasons for why you stay in that kind of environment.
Right.
But could you explain to people who are maybe in it, or maybe people who are watching who don't understand what it can be like?
I think personally a lot of it's mostly, firstly it's a lot of security, and secondly you get into a situation when you love somebody that you start to believe the words and the things they tell you. So if they're telling you, like, he lived in a fancy area, right, and I don't, right? So he was like, I'm going to drop you off at your midden. So I was like, I don't want to go back to that midden, you know, and then like nobody's going to love you the way I love you. And just, and you know, you hear enough things enough times and you start to think, well, I'm a bit different and I'm this and I'm that. And I've poured this much into it. And, you know, so it's one of the things where you think, well, you start to believe, and it's like believing your worst enemy, because they are your enemy, because if somebody loved you, they would never say these things to you. So, and then it's almost like you lose love because you give somebody else your love. I've got their name tattooed on me and I'll never take it off, purely because it reminds me of how much I lost myself. But I've gained myself again. But it's the first time in my life I did lose myself. But I sometimes think even the strongest people lose themselves. So my advice is, I tell you what it was, when we were together, I allowed him to control me and I had no life. I gave up my friends, my family and my everything, and he became everything. See now, if I'm in a relationship, they'd do their thing, I'd do my thing, and we meet in the middle and we do our thing. So it's never losing the sense of self, of who you are. And but promoting somebody else. If they want to go on a boys' holiday, let them. If you want to go out with the girls, let them, rather than you becoming a winsome, because you lose your sense of who you are. And when you lose that, somebody can really come in and snatch your soul and your dreams and your desires and your mind, and all of a sudden you're done, you know.
You're absolutely spot on. In a relationship, it's got to be, people always think it's 50-50. It's not 50-50, it's 100%, 100%. You bring your 100%, I'll bring my 100%. We meet in the fucking middle, we make the fireworks happen. After a couple of years, it's no fireworks, it's fucking wash your dishes, you prick, fuck off, you know.
I might talk to you tomorrow.
Out my face, man, the football's on. But people still forget that. It's not 80%, 20%, it's not 90%, 10%, it's fucking 100% each. Meet in the middle, fucking blast it, do you know what I mean? So you're fully invested in that relationship at that time. There's a lot of manipulation, all that kind of jazz.
Listen, I turned into a bad person as well. That's the first time in my life I ever found out that I was a bit you know, toxic, controlling cunt myself, to be fair. Because I've never been like that. I've always been like, oh, hi, la. But in that relationship, they bring the worst out of me. But the old saying is, you meet somebody to make the best of you. So, and I didn't like who I became. And everybody around me was like, you're no you. But it's that thing where you can't see it because they become your only vision. Yeah.
You know, I'm proud of you for actually admitting that. Most relationships, 9 out of 10 people you'll see on TikTok or on social media, your friends, and they won't admit that person. Oh, wait a minute, I turned into a prick as well.
Oh,
I came down to this level, or both of us came down to this level. I turned into an arsehole as well. You know, it's...
Listen, if I'm going to leave somebody because they're bad to me and I know they're bad to me, then you leave. But if you can come back, then at the end of the day, it's your fault. Because you keep coming back, and as much as you might not be strong or security or whatever the reasons, you know, now looking at everything, and you know, I've life coached as well after that, there is always choices, there's always help. You know, like Women's Aid and things like that. There's people, even if you've not got a family or friends you talk to, there's always somebody out there if you look hard enough. But I wasn't looking hard enough. I was looking at them and forgetting me. But when it's like everybody that's left a situation, they look back and they go, what the fuck was that all about? What was that? But you know, it was my first and last, dare I say it, you're allowed to say it, I hope so, bastard. And I think everybody needs to find one, and I became a slight bastard myself. So, and I never want to go to her again, and I want to meet him. So, but I've learnt a big lesson, because before that I never thought that was in me.
Yeah, what doesn't kill us makes us better.
Stronger.
Better, stronger, fiercer, wiser. Unless we keep making the same mistakes. It's amazing, isn't it? Because you get that third person view. You're in a situation, it might be you're suicidal, you're in a bad relationship, bad job, fucking in a fight, whatever. If you can go third person view and look at it from the outside, you get a totally different perspective. Wait a minute, well, why didn't I do this and that and this and that? Why didn't I take this action to get there? Why did I react that way? When at the end of the day, it's all about being in the present. And I think we need to check ourselves sometimes when we're in the present and almost give us that third person view. Wait a minute, right, what am I doing here? Why am I doing it?
I've been mindful, looking at yourself and going from another position. My thing is, it was a lot of my fault as well, because I gave myself to them fully and wholly. you know, before up until now, I probably wouldn't be like that. But then I was just like, you know, loyal, loving, everything. I'll watch your kids while you go to the gym. I'll watch your kids while you go and do your karate. I'll watch your kids while you go to football. I'll pick them up, and I never get thanks from either side of the mum or the dad, like him or the ex, you know. And because I don't have all that, I didn't have any type of, I was going to say baggage, but I didn't have any children. I didn't have an animal. I didn't have anybody to take care of. So I put myself in that position, and as strong as a person I know I was before that, I can't believe that. But I just fell in love with love, and fell out of love with myself.
I've talked to a few people over the last maybe 2 years since lockdown, or a year. How long's it been since lockdown?
Sometimes I think we're still in it, but anyway.
The Great Awakening. And I've talked to a few women who are in relationships like this, and I always ask them, is there something that you like that keeps you in this relationship? It says the toxicity and the madness, the on edge, and some of them say
Aye, some of them. And some people just live in the drama. Yeah, it makes them feel alive, and probably that's their upbringing. Somewhere along the lines of their life, that's what they knew as love. Their mum and dad maybe shouting at each other, maybe him not coming home, maybe her smashing dishes, and to them they think, oh, that, and they're still together and they hate and they love and they hate and they love. So I was brought up with that. So therefore, that's kind of my makeup. That's my jigsaw puzzle, and I'm going to do the same.
What stimulates, eh?
Aye, 100%.
So I'm aware you're an NLP coach. Love that.
Yes.
Absolutely love it. My kind of shit right there. Before we get into all the jazz, let's take it back. I want to take it back to Amanda, young Amanda.
Right, okay.
Going through school, where you grew up,
couple of decades.
Where you're from, all that jazz. Let's go.
Right, okay. Well, I lived in Easterhouse till I was about 2, and then my mum moved to Denniston. So, God, I think my mum and dad were together till I was about 9 or 10, and then I remember like looking for money in my mummy's pockets and stuff like that, and finding a letter that from this other guy who was, dare I say it, banged up, to say, hi, I hope Amanda's okay, blah blah blah, love, John. And I was like, who's John? You know, like my daughter Amanda. And I was like, my dad's called Donald. So that's fucking, you know, me wondering about at the side. But anyway, no, so I was like that, okie dokie. So when my mum would come home, I'd obviously said to her, what's this? Because my dad and my mum had split up at 9, so I found this at 10.
Right.
I mean, 10 or 11, the ages are no the thing in my brain, but so basically when, you know, she said, yeah, this is your dad, he's came up to see you a few times when, you know, but you've no noticed this was I just said it was a friend, and that is your dad, and I married somebody else because he was always being naughty. And I said, right, okay. So then I met my dad anyway, at 20. But he's a full like me. I'm not like my mum. My mum's prudish and quite shy. So my dad is very like me. We talk over each other. We're very opinionated. We're quite passionate about stuff. I think I'm right. He thinks he's right. But I met him at 20. And at 20, you're trying to prove who you are.
Why did it take 10 years?
I don't know. I think that's just when obviously I moved to London, so I was never really about. So my mum said, oh, your dad's contacting me. He wants to meet you now. But it took me to age 35 to appreciate that I'm never going to have a dad. I've never had a dad, and I've been dadless, and probably that's why I've got this sense of strength now. But I've always, because you know, it took me to age 35 to think we're never going to have the relationship we're ever going to, that I've always dreamed of. When you see all my friends with their dads, and you know, and I thought it's never going to happen. You know, we're just we're too alike probably in a lot of ways. But about 2 years ago, I accepted this and told him that and said, I'll accept you as a friend. So you're a friend in my life, but you'll never be a dad. So you come and tell me, oh, you're drinking too much, or you're dating too much, or you're going to holidays. You know, you've not got any rights here. Yep. So I don't talk to him now to this day, and I'll never talk to him again. So it's not something I ever lost because he was never really there. Yep. So, and if I know he's going to see this because he watches me, but that's his call, no on me, you know.
Yeah, it's mad listening to you talk about that. I'm in the exact same kind of similar situation. I met mine at 28. Right. Came into my life and he was the same. He's a lovely guy, love him to pieces, but he was trying to tell me what to do. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. As you said, I've been dadless, and it's been my mum. Just my mum.
Aye.
She's been everything, and it's a thing where some people will love it and love the dad coming in and then take everything that they've got to say, but this is a stranger.
Totally.
28 years I've not known him, and he's coming in and telling me to, you know, you must pick up the Bible, you must do this, blah 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 blah. I said, wait a minute.
Were you already a dad at that age yourself? No.
Yes.
Right. So
No. Yes.
can you imagine somebody coming in as an adult as you are, who's made a child into this world, coming in and telling you how to live your life? It's like, mate, you're a stranger. We grow up, we have blood the same, but that's it.
I know.
So I get it.
And I couldn't do it to my son. But then you probably feel the need to, you want to be the dad and want to come in and wear the big boots and stuff. But there was actually a funny story, and my dad's really religious, right? The American kind of brought up black American family in some of the rough areas in America, and he says he was sitting down one time when he came over to stay with me for 2 weeks. It was amazing, right? But he was sitting there one time. He says, "You know what, son? You know what I think we should do? And I think we'll bring us closer together. I feel like you're still hating on me and you're closed off." I says, "There's a really submissive thing we do over in America." He says, "We wash each other's feet."
Okay.
And that was me, man. I was like, fuck off.
And that was at the end of that?
No, nobody's touching my feet, man, and I'm certainly not fucking touching your
yours.
feet, man. Wowza. So aye, that was that story.
Feet fetish, sorry.
Aye.
But then, you know, everybody's got their... But then that's his thing. It's not your thing. And the respect is, because it's his thing, it's not your thing.
See, I like women's feet.
He's got what?
I like women's feet.
Oh no, I thought you said...
No, he's got women's feet.
You said there, he's got white women's feet. And I said, so what the fuck are we talking here? I thought he's black American with white women's feet. And he went, it's a bit confusing, but anyway, sorry.
No, women's feet's fine, you know.
But still.
Fucking you know, that's back in the Jesus time.
It's considered a sexual thing as well, so, and it's a bit, you know.
Fingers in
wash my in, mate, the horns work.
You know what I mean?
No. So are you know in a place now, or?
Same as you. I just closed off, man. I was like, listen, I've not had it. I don't need it. No. You know, I would hope to think I'm a
fully
fantastic,
fledged man.
Yeah.
No.
And I'd hope to think I'm a good dad to my son. I've got my son. I've got my mum. My mum's not well now, and I've not got contact with her, which is shit. But I'm fine, should I say, you know. And it is weird because there's loads of people who I've probably got about 300 emails when I put the video up about meeting my dad. Oh my God, you've kind of spurred me on to meet mine, and blah blah blah, and I've not seen my mum in years, and I'm going to kind of reach out, and how do you feel? And then I had the other half saying, how do you forgive? I just can't forgive, you know. I don't want to see them. I can't forgive that they left me and all that. I says, well, you need to forgive. You don't need to forget, but for you to move on, you need to forgive. We need to. It's how we react to situations that's thrown at us.
Because then you're holding on to it.
Yeah.
And it becomes that wall of resentment and hate, which we don't need, because then we turn into these bitter, horrible people in time. You know, so you have to let it go. In order to let it go, you forgive. You can forgive and say cheerio, don't want to see the rest of my life. But it's if you're forgiving somebody, you're almost forgiving yourself. And I don't know anybody that's got a perfect life or a perfect upbringing or perfect anything. So, you know, but all my pals were in really great, like, family orientated with sisters and brothers. Yep. I've got no sisters and brothers. I was brought up with just my mum. So I always wanted and craved Little House in the Prairie or the Waltons, you know, the tables and all the food going, oh, good night, John boy. And I was like, oh yeah. And it was just me, my mammy and the dog, you know what I mean? My mammy was already sleeping. I was like, you know, but then you become, I'm now looking at my life and think, well, I'm so self-contained. I don't need anybody. And that's what I've took from the people that I know. It's got sisters and a family and a dad that can't do anything on their own. Yep. So I do everything on my own. You know, so you have to take the good from the bad, and that's what I try and do.
You've got to make it yours, don't you?
But I forgave and I said goodbye and whatever. So,
hey dads, fuck the dads,
fuck them all. Sorry, no,
so
not them all.
School and all that. What happened there? What was happening at school? You talked to me. I know that the word bullying is massive to you.
I'm still getting bullied at this age, but well, it's from social media, obviously. But well, when I was at school. Because I didn't have a dad, my mum always bought me like all the best of gear. So for first day of school, everybody's wearing their best gear, and then the second day I had another big new best of gear on the third day. So she always kind of tried to fill me up with things that other people had that I didn't. You know, like I had 2 Cindy doll houses and 3 pair of roller skates, and you know, so where one person had 1, I had 3, everything, whatever. And my mum worked 2 jobs to get me all that because it was just me and her. So when I started school, I was always like, I'm only, I think I'm 5'1", 5'2", but I've always been smaller than every other girl. I was always a wee skinny thing. My hair was always dead long, and I don't know what it is, but you know, you go to school when you fancy a boy and the boy might fancy you. All the wee boys used to fancy me, right? So all the lassies hated me for this, tried to cut my hair when I was sitting behind them, just put chewing gum on my hair and take my shoes off and put them in puddles and stuff, take all my books. And so it was real anxiety to go to school. And I was talking about this the other day, you know, about not being able to sleep. So from I can remember back in age 9, having fear at bedtime and like just being so petrified to go to sleep because I knew I was going to lie there at 4 or 5 in the morning, and then my mummy was going to yank me up about 8 to go to school, and I knew I was going to be like a zombie. And it was all through the fear of not getting into school first with the bullies, but then because I was missing out in listening and learning because I was full of anxiety and so tired, I wasn't getting my, like, you know, your homework done. So I was worried about what the teacher was going to say. So I had like the teachers and the kids in the class. Then coming home to my dad at that time, who was still with my mum, and my mum moaning at me that I didn't do my homework and I got a D. So it was just, and I had no brothers and sisters, I had nobody to talk to, and I wasn't close to any of my cousins. So it was just a wee cycle of effect. And it wasn't too long ago that I realised that's where I learnt to kind of make people laugh. My mum used to buy jokes for the joke shop as soon as I made any, like you get pocket money.
Yep.
And it was always to like make people laugh. And then I learnt that my mum used to yank me out my bed at night to like dance and sing and rap. I used to rap, go that. I used to think I would beatbox. I was like, yeah, I'm a black rapper. Right, so anyway, for Denison. And they used to always sit my mummy's auntie's friends and laugh at me, and they all used to give me money. So I learnt, so you can manipulate, get the money off them, make them all laugh, because laughter is key, because they all go, ooh, and then my mummy keeps me off school the next day so I don't need to go, which is a free education, which I'm missing out on, and to help her clean the house because the house was full of drink and riot. So it was like, yes, I hope my pals me out of bed the night so I can get that ballet dance and make the money, no go to school. And it's like, I'll help you tomorrow again. No, you go to school, because I just hated school with all my heart. And see, until I left it, and when I moved to London and I started reading books by choice, and in a peaceful manner, and it was all self-help. I've been reading self-help books since I was 13. My first book was called The Game of Life and How to Play It, and I was like 13, I asked my mum to buy me this book. So coming back to like the school thing, I just never ever slept, couldn't learn, felt dumb, but felt that I was like an old soul, because I could, what was going on with the teachers, and I felt like I was always different, and I know nowadays everybody's like, well, I'm different, man. But when you're young, you just want everybody to fit in. Yeah. And I just never fitted in. So I went to 4 different schools. Wow. I get pulled out of different schools, and it was always the same. But see, when I got older and I learned the NLP and stuff, I thought, with these women coming to me and saying, Mum, every man I meet keeps beating me up. And I thought, well, the thing that's in common here is you. So I thought, why do I looked back and thought, well, is it something that I'd done, But I don't know. I just think I was prone for it. So see, now at my age now, and I'm like, God's sake, I'm still getting trolled and stuff like that, and I still don't sleep. Sometimes I'll go for like 2 or 3 days with like 2 hours here, 3 hours there, 4 hours there, and I still fear bedtime. So that's actually sat where it stayed with me, I take triazidone, which is like a tablet. It's an anxiety tablet from a doctor. I've been taking it for a good 10 years, but I stopped at one point, and then like I'll dabble and go back in it if I'm really feeling the need. Because I never wanted to be addicted to tablets, because I come from a family of addiction. So I thought, I don't want to ever, if you need to be high, make yourself high, you need to do this, I don't want anything to, because I saw so much addiction growing up, and I thought, I don't want to take these tablets. And I've run into 1900 tangents, but you get the gist of, because obviously, the learning is easy now, but just the sleep pattern is still there. So I have to do a mindfulness on that with myself.
The schools you got pulled out of, was that primary or secondary?
Both. Two in primary.
So
and
it started in primary,
Yeah,
which is a severe young age
I know. Aye.
for that kind of bullying.
Well, I mean, I came home one day, my hair was all cut off. I had long hair. And they all cut it off because they stuck it with chewing gum and the teacher had to cut it. My mum up to school and went, well, you should have just left the chewing gum when I took it to a hairdresser's and got it fixed. You've just cut all our hair into, So this is what I was dealing with. And I remember my mum saying to me, I come from quite a hard family, that they'll not take any bullshit for anybody, but there was me getting bullied, so I always felt even the odd one out of my family that I couldn't be tough, but I was a bit of a dreamer. I used to always write poems and stuff, and it wasn't until I got older with my ex, he was in AA, and I went to the AA with him to understand the illness, and in that, they say, write everything out. If you're putting it out, you're putting it in the universe, you're writing it out, you're seeing it, you're letting it go, and I didn't even realise I was actually self-helping myself, and like as a child, because I always wrote poems and got my wee beatbox machine and tried to turn it into a rap and a song, and that was what probably saved me with me. So it's probably why today I don't ever, if I'm down or I'm whatever, I never reach out and tell anybody. I deal with it myself because it's always something I've done.
Incredible you had these self-help coping mechanisms at such a young age, but it shouldn't have had to be that way.
No. But I think that's why I'm good with people. Now, because people used to come to me in my school or when I did have one or two friends and say, oh, this is happening, and I'd go, this is what you should do, and I didn't even know why I knew it, but I was almost made into a wee adult at such a young age because I was having to cope. My mum kept me off school. I mean, I resented my mum for keeping me off school when I learnt that in other countries you have to pay for good education, and then university and stuff people pay for, it's not all free, and there was me getting kept off, and I was like, why can't I spell properly, why can't I count, I'm not a great counter, and it was because I sat at the back of the class no wanting the teacher to point me, because then all the bullies would be like ha ha ha, so I used to just sit there in a wee dream world.
See, like you talk about school being that place where you just didn't want to be, and it's all getting to you, but then when you get home you've got that similar kind of place because you're thinking about school, you're thinking about bedtime. So when you get home from school, that time from when you get in the door to when you went to sleep, what happened then? How did you deal with it?
Well, my mum was first. My dad, the one that was called Norwood, he was a bit of a bully to me as well, and to my mum. Probably that's why they split up. But I never, I hated macaroni and cheese, so he made sure that we got macaroni and cheese 4 times a week, and sat round me until I ate the whole plate. So when he went to the bathroom, my mum would come down and eat it for me.
Wow.
So I was even witnessing manipulation from my mum to my dad. And I wasn't good at my homework, so my mum used to do it and then show him, because she used to come out of my room, whatever, and he would be like maybe the football or whatever he was doing when he was out and about, and she'd show him, and he'd be like, oh, that's okay, because I was in total fear from him. And when I used to go to bed at night, I used to keep the door ajar, so the light would come through, and he used to come in and say, I want your face to turn the wall. I'm shutting this door over and turning the whole light off. And if I come in and you're not sleeping with your face, I'm going to wake you up and smack you. So I was getting fucking bullied everywhere. Yeah. I think that's why on my social media now, people go, how do you deal with the trolls? And I think, I always say, I've been dealing with it all my life.
How did you deal with it back then? How did you actually deal with it? I
think it was the self-help. Or that. I mean, I knew as soon as I got older, I was going to move away and make my own life, What a lot of people don't know is all my wee songs and all that, I used to always sing. So I went to London to become a singer. And I actually got with this guy at a recording studio, blah, blah, blah. I think he was like a daddy figure in my head. He got MA. I couldn't buy all the stuff for the recording studio because it was his money. That's another story. That's another podcast thing. But anyway, I've always lived in my own bubble. And the minute somebody comes in and tries to burst the bubble, I'll get rid of them. And a lot of my trolls on these mad sites that are hating on me always say, oh, she gets rid of everybody. And I do, and I know how to do it, because I'm not into, I've been in negative places, I've felt what it's like, and the only person that can save you is yourself, to take yourself out of those situations. Yep. And I know my self-worth now. So I just get right out of them, and I think all the wee books that I bought, because as I said, that was my first book, and then I was like, going to get me this emotional IQ, because I remember thinking, well, I've not got a big IQ because I can't fucking spell, but I'm sure I'm emotionally dead adult like. So, and my mum's quite a shy, sheepish wee person, so I would be like her mum, even though I'd be like 14. Yeah. So my mum would be like, oh, I bought this lipstick and it's the wrong one, I can't take it back. I was like, geez that, I'll fucking get you 2 for free, you know. So that's what, and I always learnt to have the banter and be funny, because people would always get you a job, or if you're on a date and you made the guy laugh, he'd like you. It was always my way of coping, is making people laugh. And when they laughed, I laughed, and I thought, yes, I've won. So that's probably what I've always done.
Yeah.
I used to always read as well. I've stopped reading, but I used to read a lot.
I used to get at my mum a lot because she wouldn't go and get a man. I say, you know, you need to go and get someone to help, get a man. She raised the 3 of us herself, right? My nan and papa helped, but my mum mostly, and I used to always feel so that she was missing out. She went with a very hard guy for years and battered black and blue, but after that, that was my brother and sister's dad, but after that, she raised us herself, and I always used to think, why, but it makes me think how lucky I am and how lucky I was. When I got home from school, it was about us. We would get fed. She would in the morning, it would be cornflakes, toast and tea, or we wouldn't leave the house. You know, everything she'd done, every single bit in her life was for the 3 of us.
Aye, and that's
Night
a lot.
times,
That's 3.
Everything. We had a phenomenal life. Everything at home was phenomenal from her, and it pains me. I see a lot of people, and even some of my friends, who'll have toxic relationships, and as you say, you've seen a lot of the stuff with this. Was it the dad or the stepdad?
It was my dad, up until the fact he wasn't my dad, and I found it wasn't he.
Well, not letting you eat and stuff like that.
Well, just making me eat things that I didn't like. Because my mum always buys those boxes, you know, those boxes of macaroni and cheese, like plastic.
Red ones.
You see, when I open a cupboard now, because she buys them, right? Because my mum's a foster parent to two young men in their house. So when I go, for fuck's sake, I've shut that cupboard. It's like a death in there. It's like death, because I always remember it. But he would always, it's like, no devil's advocate, we always go against the grain of anything that I wanted to enjoy. But obviously they split up when I was young. But I still remember that. But I still loved him because I thought he was my dad.
Yeah.
But my mum is my island. My mum, I mean, we're talking about my mum taking care of me. My mum really done the best she could, you know what I mean? Because I used to witness my mum getting beaten up. So I saw that and all, and, you know, whatever. So it's like, and, you know, you want to kill the person who's touched the person who loves you the most and does the most for you. And to this minute, of this day, I still steal toilet rolls after women, do you know what I mean? Because she buys them in bulk still. I
think we do need to be careful with parents and us being parents and all that kind of stuff. All the parents out there, because you have to watch the behaviours of parents and who you're with, and because it can have a profound effect on the kids. This is
why I never had any. This is the 100% reason.
That's the fact, you know. If you've got these are things that you remember. Your life shouldn't have been negative like that. No, should have been positive.
But that's why I ran away from it.
Well, there you
and
go.
I've been away ever since. But that's why I always knew I was never going to have a kid. I always was an only child as well, and I always wanted sisters and brothers. My mum couldn't have any more, so I always knew that I wasn't. I had cousins, right, that had kids and they were young, and they'd give their mum the kid to watch so they could go partying. And I always thought to myself, no, that's no the job here. And then the mum would moan, and the kids would be thinking, who wants me? Because you don't realise kids hear all this. Oh, my grandma doesn't want me, my mum wants to go out, and they're moaning. My dad's nowhere to be seen or whatever. So not just dads, you know, just not agenda, but just people in the family, close. So when I was growing up, I just always knew I'm never going to have a child to give it to somebody else to take care of. If I'm going to be a parent, I'm going to fully give myself. But I was always in a place where I don't know if I'll stay here. I don't know if I'll stay with him. I might go there. I might go here. So I always kind of knew at a young age I was... Also, this sounds freaky, right? But the thought... Because somebody was going to my teeth, right? And a lot of people were saying, oh, you get your teeth done. That sounds crazy. That's crazy. I couldn't go through all that. And I was like, have you had children? And they go, yeah. I went, so you had a pair of feet and ears and a body inside your body. You grew inside of you, and you're telling me you can't get an injection for teeth.
Oh, no.
I went, there's a set of teeth somewhere along your lines. You've made a set of teeth out of somebody else, and that freaks me out. It gives me the fear, but umbilical cords. I'm just no maternal that way. But I was a great stepmom.
It's not a nice thing to watch, I tell you that.
No, I praise any woman who's done that.
Yeah, but I watch a couple on TikTok, and they've got 2 kids. and they brilliant, sober, phenomenal, but they're always the parties now, you know, the music's on and they're steaming every Friday night on live on TikTok and the wains are kicking about and all that. I'm thinking, I don't think you realise how different you are on that booze. I mean, then you turn up and you hear, oh, that kid's an arsehole or that human's an arsehole, you think, okay, you made it. Mon damn it. Like,
you made that.
Fucking yous are doing that. Can you not see the profound effect? But let's talk about, when did you leave school? 4th, 5th, 6th year?
I stayed on at the last school I was at, because I was like, right, because I was good at art, I was always good at creative stuff, so I was going to finish doing music and finish doing art, because I got an art higher. But to be fair, I got my bursary, then I left.
I was about to say, so you started enjoying an element.
They gave me money and I was like, ooh, I'm going to buy trainers. So I was a bit like that.
You started enjoying the only element of school, and then the old money came in, that was it?
Well, my mommy moved in with her boyfriend, so I was like 16, and I was like, I'm having a pyjama party. So once she was away for about a year, but she always came in. She was there every day, if you know what I mean. And then that's when I was like, right, I'm just going to move away, because you know what I mean, because I envisioned when you move to a new place, you can be anybody. Come from, and I was always like, oh, I come from a big family. I own a horse, and I'm not from the east end of Glasgow. I'm not fucked up at all, you know. So but obviously it only lasted about a week, and then the third week, like, you've changed. Like, the real person started to pop out. Do you know what I mean?
Love that. No, it is, you want that fresh start, and you want that.
You can be anything you want in a new place, you know.
Yeah, I think I moved to Glasgow young as well, and that feeling of
from where
just being new, Argyll,
right? Okay,
down in Dunoon, which is a small town. So when you move to Glasgow, the big lights, the big smoke, we used to call it back. That's what we called it growing up. So we would go, oh my god, we're going to get McDonald's up the big smoke. That was a highlight of your fucking year. That was, you know,
getting a boat and a ferry and 2 taxis
and
a train.
That was once a year.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
God.
Unless I was getting it with the football team, the big smoke, but you just feel you can make friends on your basis, you know what I mean, not on the basis of what's happened or what your friends have done, uncles done, families done, or any of that stuff, you know what I mean. It's your basis, just you for you. I think that's good about moving. So you moved at 17 to London and stayed 12 years. That's a big move.
I know.
How did that come about?
Well, my pal had moved in and I went down to see her, and then I come back. And she said to me, oh, I'm moving in with my boyfriend, you can maybe stay at my flat. And when I moved in there, I knew a lassie from Glasgow had moved in, and I was like, I maybe get a job with her, and it was in the Square Mile, which basically shuts Monday to Friday because it's just all the bankers and the bank, like you know, the real bankers, none of this sitting in a bank Santander and Argyll Street depressed. We're talking about traders and stuff like MPs. They would all walk past. So you'd get up at I used to get up at 7:30 in the morning and stop them and get all their details for this insurance company, and they would and by 12:30, you know, I'd be finished because I made all this money, because we used to get £10 a phone number. I've stopped all these people at the train stations. So I was kind of minted because that's never heard of. So my cousin was a pure grafter. She's like, I've got 200 numbers. I was like, I'm going to make a couple up. So, because I'm always a pure chancer, because I'm like, this is a graft. But I ended up going with the guy who owned the company and moved to Essex for 5 years in a big mini mansion. So I was all right for 5 years.
I was about to say, I bet you ended up seeing one of them.
No, I went with the guy who owned the company.
Oh, brilliant.
But I left him. I always leave people. But I wonder, that's what I always think, is that something that I do? Because I've never known anything it's stayed true to. I shouldn't really put that shout out, I'll never get a man, but you know how, like, you know, because it's something that I've never seen anything finish, so maybe that's something that I need to work on, and only by doing these kind of a podcast and starting to open up and be honest around a 60-minute video of being funny, 60-second video, it's like I'm relating to myself, and it's like me training in therapy within myself, because that's why talking is good.
Yeah. What happened then in Essex?
Well, first I went on singing and all that, but that guy became ill, so that's when I got that job, and then I moved to Essex and I was with him.
What do you mean that guy became ill?
I was with this guy from Trinidad, and he owned a recording studio.
Right.
And I was renting a flat out in London with this other guy that was a singer, and I met him in my singing classes, and he said
at the same fucking time, or
well, 12 years, something happened when I first went down there, you know what I mean. So I think I was 21 when I met the guy in our singing classes, and he was in a wheelchair, I think it was called Mr. Dynamite or something. And I'm always one of these people, right, that just like create the creative types. So he was like, I've got 3 rooms in my flat. I'll rent you one out. And I was like, that, all right, I've not got a job, mate, I'm on a gyro. But that was because that's what I was doing then. I was like searching down what I was doing. And he's like, that, right, okay. So I have to go off on a wee small tangent. I was seeing somebody in Glasgow when I first moved to Edinburgh, when I first moved to London, and he was a DJ. And he worked in Edinburgh, dispersed managers, and was a DJ. And that was my first love. And I was with him on and off for 5 years. So when I moved in there, it was a long-term relationship that just obviously didn't work out. Yep. But anyway, so I stayed with this guy. He had a recording studio in his room. And then he said, I'm going to this big singing class. And it was all these people, right? And I was like, because I always wanted, right? I always wanted to be black, right? So, right, because I always listened to black singers. Yep. And I was growing up with Gladys Knight and Otis Redding, and people were like, I'm into Duran Duran. And I was like, nah, I'm into soul. So I was always into old stuff. So when I'm doing there, these were black people, and I was like, and there's no black people at the time in Glasgow. So I was like, it's Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? Because I loved him, and everybody was like, and I loved all that because it was like all different looking, different types of people. My family have always said I'm a minority lover. Any party they take me, I will stand with the person who's the minority. But you learn and you learn a lot from different people with different walks of life, and I'm into that.
Massive Crocs.
Totally. So when I was doing there, I met this guy in a singing class, and he was like, "You've got a good soul voice for a white lassie. I've got a recording studio. Come to it and see what we can do." So when he used to play the music, because he was like he was from Trinidad, he's like a wee musician. I used to I can always hear songs in my head. Probably for all the things that ever happened to me. I'm like, they were always sad, but so I was like, you left me at the gate. You know, it was all this mad stuff, right? Yes. Right? Nobody loved me, wasn't he? I'm feedless and breathless, you know, so it's all this sad stuff. And he's like, you've got so much soul. I thought, mate, if you fucking knew my life story up to this point, you'd understand why. Yeah. So I was with him on and off, because I would travel back to Glasgow to see my mum, and then back down. And I would sleep at the studio sometimes. Anyway, he got ME, and the other guy that owned the studio with him was like, all the amount of time that you've spent with him, he owes the studio now money, and that would congregate with all these DVDs that I'd have to give you of about $5,000. Now I was 21, like, where am I going to get $5,000 for? Do you know what I mean? So I never ever was able to get that music. I didn't even have a wee snippet yet, because he always kept it in the studio.
Do you want to give us some now?
No, I can't sing anymore.
You get YouTube with a wee bit of soul music, man.
No, we fucking are not.
I'll dim the lights and all that.
15 beers later, I'm like, hello, is there anybody there?
That's all right,
no, it wasn't. But I used to, no, it wasn't. I was good, but I'm not good now. But anyway, but I'm good at making stuff up. I'm good at making, like, I shouldn't even say all this, but now we are, because I don't forget that now when you're making stuff up, a wee word here, I'm no good at copying somebody's song, and I'm no good at, because I'll sing it out and in it and put a harmony up there. So that's where my creative was. But he was trying to roll me in, and you know, because Scottish voices they've got quite a strong voice as well. So anyway, I always said to myself, if my dream died, I just want to go with, I think I manifested it. I do believe in God and also I pray. So I think I manifested it, and I was praying at the same time. I don't know if they two, you're not supposed to do one or the other apparently, but I always said, if I don't get my dream of being a singer and buying my mummy a nice wee house because she's done everything for me, then I just want to meet a guy that's loaded so that I can lie back and live my life and look fantastic. So I met the guy that owned a big company, and I moved to Essex and never worked for about 5 years.
Superb. So,
you know what I mean? It was a magical life. He was just give me his credit card, and I'd be like, Mummy, do you want to train down and we'll go to the Oxy? So, and I was because he just wasn't a control. He was a lovely guy. Did you say you
married him?
No, we were just together. Right. I didn't marry him. He wasn't the one I married. But my mammy stopped talking to me when I fell out with him, because she said, you'll never find a guy like him in your life. He just had everything going for him.
Was he nice?
Loveliest guy ever. But see, I'm a bit of a slight bastard, so I kind of need somebody to stimulate me and keep me going. See, if you're too nice, I will walk. I've shown me by my past record that I will walk over you. Walk over you, walk over you and fly away and leave you like that. And he was a lovely guy, but when I left him, I went to drama, a drama course in Essex, and he paid for it. Basically, he gave me £5,000, so I was the richest student in the whole year. I was like, who's gone for wine? But I passed that. I was only one out of 32 people in a class that passed with honours.
Wow.
But the teacher said, you need to go to London and become an actress straight away. Everybody else is going to go to the next level, but you're no academic, you're practical. Because I still was like that with you have to write things down, as in like what I done the day in your journal. I was like, I don't know how to turn the computer on. This computer's not got a D in it. It's not got a D. So I've always been able to make people laugh or manipulate and everybody else to do it. But in these courses, you need to do them yourself. So he was like, just write it. And when he started reading my writing, I know he was like, I can't understand it. Just go, just cheerio. So I've done a wee bit of this and that.
Wow. Why don't you get into a bit of singing now? I can see you down the Blue Dog.
I used to go to the Blue Dog, the actual Blue Dog.
The piano and all that.
Is that still open?
I don't know. I used to go with an ex. It was brilliant. Wee piano in the corner, wee singer, wee bit of soul. Brilliant.
I know, but then I gaff him one. They're like, right, is she still singing?
Get her fucking ass, man.
Get her ass. The place has been shut 2 years. She's still in here.
So after this guy, you move away to Essex. Essex life, wee bit of madness, do the drama course. Was the drama course back in Scotland?
No, it was done in Leon C. I left him because there was no, I don't like to say it, but there's no sexual activity between the two of us, and I just thought, my mum was like, that's not everything it is. I'm only 26. You know what I mean? You've got to love somebody, and if this is it now, I'll end up running away and having an affair, and I don't think he deserves that.
What do you think of that these days? That's a big subject, and it's one I talk to a lot of people about, and I'll get mails about sexual activity in young couples. What's your take on it?
In sense of, well, sex is easy now, and
how many times a week should it be happening between a young couple?
Mate, I need it 3 times a day. I've got a high sex drive. I don't know about a young couple, I'm old. But anyway, I don't know. I think I used to say to him, and obviously I was a young couple then, I totally understand. Well, when I was a life coach as well, a lot of women would come, their men had broke their heart, blah, blah. And I used to say, right, okay, I had a wig on a Monday. I used to call myself Colleen on a Monday for my ex with a black wig and do the old underwear and all that. And she'd be like, I was like, listen, you got to jazz it up, you got to spice up, you got to meet outside, you got to remember what you fell for about them, this is what you've got to do to make it happen. A relationship is work. You don't just say I love you and then go to bed at night, scratch yourself, because obviously you let yourself go to a certain a line of scratching and sweating and not really caring. But when you first met them, you go to bed with your fucking makeup on lying there like that. Try to still look like Rapunzel, you know what I mean? In the morning, we're like, oh, and you wouldn't want everything would be all cleaner in your room, but you start to get into that routine where you become pals. Pals really know each other. Yep. Become too familiar. You don't put an effort in, and I just believe in putting the full effort in for the day that you met to the day you're still together. I don't know how long that is, or it will fall a fucking part. And that's we see that all the time. The only thing is now is that OnlyFans, all these like all these things that people, sex is so easy now. Hookups are the way of the world now, and no, I don't think people really invest in people. I mean, I'm on a date with a guy. I might have met him on Tinder. We're chatting. I go to the bathroom, think I'm in love, think he's going to propose to me. I come out, he's probably still swiping. He's talking to his fucking fuck buddy in case I don't give it up that night, right? And he's still interested in his baby mama's woman now because they've got a toxic wad thing going on. And he's looking from the bar. Still at other buds, and I'm sitting there like that, not ate for a week, you know what I mean?
Brilliant.
So
that's both ways though.
No, that is no a guy thing. I'm just talking about that's the way it is. I mean, I've got a few palsies who are like, right, I'm on OnlyFans, so I'm getting X amount of money to show bits and bobs off, so if someone's going to take me out, they have to pay X amount. And I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. I mean, I can be shallow in looks because I like a nice looking person, but they could be a postman who's just lost their job. It doesn't, and they're driving a 3-wheel van. You know what I mean? It doesn't.
It's a person.
Yeah,
got to
totally
be
about the person.
I think people there's a new thing, and these young people were bringing up now that, no, if they've not got a job in a car, you're not interested and all that nonsense. You can help them get that, and you can
Do you
both,
go to the gym?
You can both rule together. Do you know what I mean?
I build each other up.
I talk to a lot of people, and I'm always open with them. I always ask, what about sexual life? How much? On my brother's grave, right? You don't know how many people are having sex maybe once a month. Couples, young couples. From maybe 24 to 40.
Right, okay.
Once a fucking month.
Right, wait to hear this story, right? So, is it to this? The world now is selfie ready, right? So, everybody's at the gym, right? Mm-hmm. So, about 2 years ago, I was seeing this guy, but he was younger than me, right? And he was at the gym, and he said, "Could you stab me there with this steroids?" And I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing. You know what I mean? And I was like, right. And then he used to say he eating 1 bit of chicken a day and all that, 2 bits of rice. So I was like that to him, right? Okay. So I was lying in his bed like that, right? And he'd go, "What you doing? We had sex this morning." I was like, "It's the afternoon." Right? So he used to say, "I'm going to the gym. I'm dragging myself. I'm not eating, so I can keep my strength. And every time I'm with you, I'm getting my strength away." He says, so he says, this is what he says, but I've never got all this. Right, he went, "Why do you need it 3 or 4 times a day?" And I said, "Well, you're only giving me 5 minutes and I'm trying to get 20 out of you." I said, "So many like that." Obviously we split up because he went, I said, "So you look like sex," because he did, right? He looked like sex, but you don't want any. Yeah. I went, "What's the fucking point?" And I think a lot of people are like that. They look absolutely dynamite, but don't touch me, don't touch. They're standing there looking all beautiful. Yep. They're not eating. They're doing all these shakes.
See, me being an ex-bodybuilder, I know what you're talking about, but still you've got to give the sex. It used to be a myth within bodybuilding, right? And football. When I used to play football, that you couldn't have sex the night before a game.
Right, that is, well, you hear that.
What the fuck? Shut up, know what I mean?
I thought you'd be better off.
Of course you would.
Because you'd be letting go of that anxiety and the stress and going like, "Yes, I can take over the world."
Absolutely.
That's what
sex,
I would think.
5 hours later, sleep, fucking
5 hours.
Right into the game. 5 hours later, I've not got 5 minutes anymore. Anyway.
But this is what it is with relationships, right, Kenny? You have to meet somebody who's compatible. Yeah. I used to thought it was all chemistry, lust, connection. It's compatibility. Ali, I can't say that. Well, I think I've had too much beer, but yes. And it's meeting somebody where, have you got a high sex drive? Do you like it? Are you all right? Are you into different places? Right, strangling. Right, so
macaroni and cheese.
No boxes here. Do you like to travel? So if they're like that, "No, I don't really like that," and I don't. And there's nothing right. I'm not putting a voice to people who don't like that, but it's compatible with. Yeah. I was with somebody who wasn't into that, and I stayed with them. So whose fault's that? Well, it's mine, because I stayed with somebody, wanted something out of them that they were never going to prepare to give, because it wasn't their character, it wasn't their passion, it wasn't their trait. So if you're going to meet somebody who doesn't drink, so I go like a guy now, "Do you drink?" Because I like a drink. No, because I was with somebody for a long time who didn't drink the one before that. So I'm like, right, do you like to drink? Do you like? Because I just play music as soon as I got up, because it lifts my spirit, my soul, right? Something like that. Rather than lying and watching 50 movies, I'm into the music, right? So I'll always ask the questions that are important to me, and if they're not important to them as much as I might fancy them, and I've got a connection, I know that it'll die out.
Well, that's part of your 100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I say this really bluntly to people who are listening. Mm-hmm. What, maybe 7 out of 10 people in the now settle? Let's be honest. We're not going to beat about the bush, I think most people I know who are married or settled, they fucking hate their partner. Most people most people, everyone I fucking talk to, everyone I've had in the podcast, everyone that mails and I say, "What's happening? Do you think you've settled?" "Aye, man, fucking hate them." Compatibility is huge. And that's why, see, if a new friend comes into my life and they're not ticking my boxes, I'll get them a fuck.
No, that's the same. Maybe it'll stimulate me.
People think I'm an arsehole for that, but I was like, no, because it's not going to be the friendship I need. This is my life. And if I meet someone who I can give my 100% to, the friendship's going to be booming.
Aye, totally.
Do you know what I mean?
Totally. But it's also that thing where you meet somebody and you're like, right, well, this is why I think people cheat, right? People cheat because they've got the house, they've got the car, they've got the mortgage, they've got the kids, so they can't just run away into the house. They've got the security. Yeah. They bought in when they were all lovey-dovey and everything was fantastic, right? And then they become the routine, right? And then they can't actually leave, so they're looking elsewhere for that sexual stimulation, just for the activity, the physicality, and they go, oh, it wasn't love, you know, right? But if
is it even the sexual stimulation? Is it not just the wee bit of
excitement
and neediness as well? No, just wanting someone to say nice things about you again, wanting someone to give you that sparkle again.
It's seeing somebody for who they are again.
Because we get fucking, let's be honest, even me in relationships, we get fucking lazy.
Of course we do.
You know, like probably go for a big shite, walk out the toilet. Do you want to do my doggy style?
I can't believe that.
Why are you asking me to take your doggy style after you've done a big shite? I'm going to be fucking boking.
Oh my God.
Get in there for a fucking shower and then we'll fucking make the love work. Know what I mean?
It's so true though, isn't it?
This is fucking...
Honestly.
What the fuck?
I mean, I used to lie with my ex, the two would lie there with the fucking door open, having a full-blown conversation about life and feelings while he was like constipated. And I'm like, I need a back rub there, mate. You know what I mean? So
I think for too many years, your shows like Loose Women and all that tried to throw being normal and thingy and for you're a couple, but just be normal, you know, fucking, it's all right to, all that.
It's true.
Shut up and make a bit of effort, you
totally.
Lazy
Because my ex used to come out to me and go, what are you doing? And I went, nothing. He went, I can tell. He went, what the fuck? He's doing, put a bit of slap on and fix your hair and take the fucking holy spaghetti type jammies off. And I was like, this is it.
It's not hanging down the nose
and he's
all
like,
that.
I've got to go and brush your hair before because I used to come home for a wee afternoon moment. That's why I probably stayed with that last one, the old Dugheed. The sex was fucking good. We used to hate each other. You hate each other, but you actually love each other. You're like, I quite love you. You know that madness,
is
right?
that a spit?
Spit at me and take my tan off, you bastard. That's fake. Right, so anyway, so it was all that madness, right? And he used to come home and go, what you doing? And I was like, well, this is it. He's like, go and put a pair of heels on. But I actually liked it because I was like, oh, you want to see my heels? But then I was knackered. I was like, for fuck's sake. You know me inside out, upside down. So see now, if I meet anybody, I'm like, I sleep in heels, mate. Sleep in them, dirty bastard that I am.
Remember the start of it though, man? I'd wake up, Mrs. would be up with fucking 2 bagels, man.
The whole thing,
cup of tea,
stroking you.
Woke up with that.
Like stroking your...
While I'm eating the bagels, man. Fucking... You know, but that's what it was. She woke up, all these bagels, man. She's like that. Hurry up and finish them bagels. Hurry up and finish them bagels. Aye. We'll roll about again.
And she'd have a sulky thing on.
Aye.
And it was short.
Or just
tan was always on point. Hair was fixed. You know, you're like that, look.
Aye.
But then I've learnt that in that last one because they meet you for who you are and they want you to stay for who you are. And if we always made an effort, it's like my ex used to say, going to buy wigs and dress up. Oh, fuck's sake, it's only Tuesday at 2. So I would be like, I'll be Maureen the Tuesday. What's the sexiest name, but you know what I mean? And I used to say, go and put one of the wigs
Maureen. I fucking hate the name Maureen. I'd be fucking out of there, man.
You know what I mean? I gain Maureen.
The old receptionist at the doctor's,
Harmony
fuck off, Maureen.
Would you be a Harmony or Amber?
Aye, that's
so
good.
So he'd be like, right, go and put one of the wigs on and whatever. And I'd be like, how can Amanda know day? Fuck's sake, you prick.
Actually, no, but you see, have you ever been to like a cafe or a restaurant and anything like that, right? And you look about and you see these people, on Facebook, they're fucking happy as Larry on Facebook. You look about and they're at the table, 2 kids are eating and the parents are there and you're just like, you're sad as fuck. You're sad as fuck. I swear to God, you look depressed or you're not. You don't even like her.
It's this.
He doesn't. She does not like you. Yeah.
That's all it is in life now.
And literally, they'll just like, right, will we go?
Aye.
What? Nay wonder. You're about to cheat on each other. I don't even fucking blame you.
No,
I just
it's
fucking
true.
go and do your shagging and then just help each other your whole life.
This is young people as well. I was at a restaurant the other day, my mammy, and these a lovely looking young couple come in and they were sitting, and she's like this, eating fucking. I think she took 2 years to eat a leaf, so she's sitting there like that. Like a fucking cow eating a bit of grass on the field, just chewing, right? And he's getting stuck in his pizza as if it was a woman, like enjoying his life, right? And he was looking at this side on his phone. So, but they left the house. There was a phone in the house. There's a telly in the house. There's everything in the house. But you're leaving to have. Let's talk about us, our plans. Let's talk about a memory that made us happy. Let's fucking run round the corner and have a wee. I don't know. I don't want to really get too dirty here, but you know what I'm saying.
2 nights out ago.
Young people.
2 nights out ago. And that's like 6 months ago. I don't go that often anyway. two nights out ago, I'm in a club, right, and I'm looking in a booth, and there's a booth in one of the clubs I'm in, and I swear to God, funny as fuck, boys and girls in the booth, right, but probably 7 out of 10 people were on their phone. I'm thinking, they're in a booth, they've come out to be with each other, These are all good
And
friends.
booths, sometimes you have to pay for them.
Party with each other. You have to pay for them in this one all the time. Party with each other. Spend time with your best pals.
On the phone.
On the phone to strangers.
No, it's this. It's get a selfie with all this booth, with all them looking fantastic, get your wee filter up, post it, write it off, hashtag everybody, and then, oh my God, 25 people have liked that. Oh, I'm going to talk to this.
But it wasn't even that. It was just like they're just texting people who are not out with them. Mm-hmm. I was like,
But they should be out with them because they're having such a good time.
It used to
But if you're having such a good time, what you texting fucking Sandra for?
To be fair, it used to happen when I used to go to my mate's house. I said this in one of my starting podcasts. We would go to my mate's house and we'd play FIFA on a Friday night, all of us together. We would all sit on our phones talking to people who didn't mean as much with us, who maybe had more appeal at that certain part. Oh, I'm talking to this guy, oh, he plays for this team, or oh, I'm talking to this guy, oh, what? So you're talking to kind of stranger friends online when you're with your day
Best
ones.
of friends.
And you're not talking to them, but you're on the phone,
Aye,
but you're
online's
with
fucked
them.
us.
You're with them, but you're not like interacting with. Like,
Remember when we didn't have a phone?
yeah,
You didn't have a phone, right? So you had a daft wee phone. It wasn't like a computer. Just a wee daft wee phone. You just text people or phone them. So you couldn't
Motorola
sit.
flip.
Yeah, right.
Brilliant.
So I think I'm even fucking in front. I think my first one was this size. You're walking about.
You were
with
the concrete one,
Oh,
weren't
you get to fuck, right? So
Remember
anyway,
that
well, it's the size of a motor.
Aye.
So
you throw it off fucking
somebody try
throw
to
it off
chase you.
buildings and all that.
Somebody try to chase you down the road, and you're like, I'll fucking stab you in my phone because it was that size. You're done for fucking
bayonet blade out the edge. Yeah.
But you see, because we can see everything on our phone now.
Aye.
We can, everything's a like. Did they like
Everything's
my picture? Am I being liked?
I know.
You know what I mean? And I think that's the honesty of something
Is
like
that
this.
that neediness that I'm talking
Aye.
about? We all just want to be loved, and I think this,
Completely.
and this is something I'm going to talk about in podcasts in the next couple of weeks, and really talk about in my TikTok is couples making it work. We don't like to hear that we're lazy bastards. Oh no, the relationship's great. No, it's no. I heard the other day, this relationship's great. 2 weeks later, friend tells me, I've been unhappy for 3 years now, I'm leaving her.
Thought you thought you were great.
Where was the great? So why are you lying to the world? This is like mental health.
Fear of being on their own.
Is this like mental health? Like, do you not also think there's a fear of split? This thing, remember back in the day, you get married.
That was
Back
you,
in
that
the
was
day
your
was
lack.
worse.
That
Back
was
in the
your
day was
lack,
worse. You could get married to someone who domestically abused you. You're with them forever because you can't be seen to be getting unmarried at 20, 30. So it started back in the day. You know, it's not all our faults. But now I think there's this thing, oh no, that's embarrassing. I can't split up. I'll have nothing. I'll not get to see the kids or, you know, or this will happen or I'll be
pressure
alone.
as well. There's a lot of people that get. Well, they say
Pressure.
that statistically, they say if you marry somebody and you're like your childhood sweetheart, by the time you're in your 20s, you will divorce them because who you are at 20 to when you're a teenager, you change.
Totally
but in
different.
your 30s and 40s, who you meet and you meet, you possibly stay with them because who you are is who you're going to always be.
You've matured,
So yeah, and you kind of know who you are and what you're interested in,
I don't
and you
blame
can have
anyone.
a compromise then.
I never blame anyone now if they split up in their later years and some people go, oh, fucking dirty bastards. Not I say, listen, he's found probably someone else. She's found probably someone else. They probably have found a real love now. They've maybe lived 5 years of their life unhappy. They're only on this planet once that we know of. So should we live 5 years unhappy with our partner just because it's the thing to do, right? When we maybe love someone else and we don't love each other, we maybe love each other as people, we're not in love, we're not having sex for 5 fucking years. Some people do, let's be honest. And should I leave them and find someone who I'm compatible with and who I love and who I can have a happy life with, or do I stay miserable for the next however long?
No.
Who are we blaming here? Who's making a better life for
Well, it's the
themselves?
person that
who's
goes back to the guy that keeps beating them up. If you keep going back, then there's a point where it's part of your fault. But I left my ex because of that. My ex-husband, I was with him, and I knew he was completely in love with me, and he moved from Istanbul to come and stay with me here because I was living in Istanbul when I was with him, and I brought him here, and I could just feel it after 3 years of a marriage and 2 years of kind of a semi-courting. I was like, nah, this is not for me. And I kept telling everybody, my mum and all that, and they were like, it will kill him. And I was like, I know, I went to know what I'm going to do because I've made this vow. I'm just going to stay with him and he can love me and be in love with me, and I'm going to love him because I did love him as a person. I was in love, and that's my cards. I'm going to have to fucking deal with him. Went away, so my auntie died, went away my birthday to Spain with my mammy. My auntie died, and I thought, you know what? Life's too fucking short for this. I deserve happiness and all, and I'm just so unhappy. And obviously the wee guitarist in the Spanish band was looking at me, and I was like, oh, So but I didn't, so it's all right. Anyway, so I've never left anybody to go anybody else. I always leave somebody to come back to myself, right? So I always keep the slate clean. I'm good like that. So I had left him. I think he was 10 years younger than me. He's Turkish. His hair went white. Oh fuck! No, I mean, and that's a true story. And he's changed all. He wanted kids. I mean, he doesn't even believe in women anymore. I don't think. So I broke him, and I feel bad. And it's something that you learn. You know, like karma's true. And I just think, I've had some bad
to
times.
Istanbul. It's a big move. How did that come about?
I met him online. I was with a guy in America, right? He was for Govan. I moved to America with him because he got a job in Caesar's Palace. So I was just skimming about for a year, just getting a tan. And he was a bit of a horrible bastard, and you know, but I just loved him. Like these lassies that you spoke to, I loved the horrible bastardness. So when I was with him, I had nothing to do all day because he was working every day, and I was on Facebook, and I was on the Facebook, and then like where you're in the world, you'll get different friends.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a bit like you know, when you hashtag somewhere. So there was this wee app saying like or loathe. So I'm on this wee app, like or loathe, because I had no pals, right? I just had him. He'd worked all the time. I don't know how to drive, and I was stuck away outside the desert. So like or loathe, and chatting to all these like foreign guys. You know, I'm a foreign lover, or what it was, right? So these foreign guys, and that he started chatting to me, and he chatted to me differently from the other guys, as in you're hot. No, and obviously in Spanish, you're hot. I don't know how they say it, but anyway, whatever. So he was just saying it dead nice, like gentleman, and I was like, oh. So I ended up continuing to chat to him, and left the guy in America, come back to Scotland, and was still chatting to this guy. And it took about 8 months of us chatting before I ever went to Istanbul to meet him. And when I met him, I already fell in love with who I thought he was, because he Zoom called every single night. Even if we were watching a movie, I was watching a movie, he was watching us, but we were watching each other on a Zoom call, just laughing and chatting, and watching him. So I don't know this because I was committed.
That'd creep me out. That creep me out straight away. Go watch your fucking movie, man.
And fuck off and leave me alone.
Fuck me.
No, I know, but I was always like that. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you wearing? What's your favourite colour? So it was all that, right? So his wee mammy would pass like that, and his wee granny in the background, and I'd be like that. Hi, future family. So I'm aware there. He came over here and met my family. I went back over there. He asked to marry me. I said aye. Stayed over there for a year. Then brought him here.
So you married him?
I married him over there.
Full wedding?
The whole shebang.
Turkish wedding?
Listen,
wow.
I had 250 people in Berkers on this side, and Mum and my stepdad on that side, and I get married to El Divo, which is Italian.
Wow.
So I was walking down to they were all like, what the music? Because they're all Turkish. Anyway, so I married him. I was in love with him, do you mean? But a moody bastard. I can't take. I can change. Like you, flip the mindset. Flip your fucking mind from being down to up, and be grateful for the things that you have got. And that's always my mantra, right? So he was always moody, and he couldn't get a job, and I had to have two. I worked for British Red Cross in Shelter Scotland. I had 2 jobs, and because he had a degree, but he was heavy accented. So anyway, I left him in the end, and I just said no, I deserve love as well, But I left him to be with me. A lot of people don't want to leave, going back to what we were chatting about, themselves with the security and how long they've put in it, and the families and the friends, and maybe they share fucking Amazon together. It's like £2.99 each, I don't know. But they might share something, any longevity of any relationship, and it's the fear of going back to you, what will happen, security, and it's hard now to date, I think, because as I say, people don't invest. So people would rather be in a bad relationship and do the dirty and come back to something they know. But I think when you cheat and lie to somebody, you're actually cheating and lying to yourself. Because don't you deserve what we were talking about, 100%? So if you're going for 70% with somebody who you have to go and cheat and lie with somebody else, then you're not getting your 100%. You're actually lying to yourself, and I think that's the biggest lie you can ever have, is to lie to yourself.
Yeah, 100%. I think relationships now, when you're speaking to people, you'll say, so why do you not leave? And they're like, oh no, I don't want to leave the kid. Aye. Or I don't want to leave the kids, or I don't want to disrupt the kids.
But the kids are going to get more disrupted by staying.
Exactly, but people don't see that because it's not the done way. Or why didn't you leave? Or I don't want to start again. You know, I don't want to do it all again. You know, I couldn't
Do what?
date
Go and live your life. Go and live your dreams.
Exactly.
Your kids will be better off for it. They'll see somebody who they'll
Maybe
grow up and go.
maybe having no confidence. Maybe having
Because relationships can drain you. That they
well,
certainly drained me.
well, think of how many men have split up with their partner and then took their own life in their 40s. Remember all the 40, 50-year-olds
That's
that were
right,
taking their own
aye.
life? You know, they're coming out of 20-year marriages and then just
They don't know who they are anymore.
come off, you
And
know?
they don't know who they are because they were in a unit.
Yeah.
It's like a job in it, or being like in the army. You're in a unit and
Maybe
a
things
routine.
have changed, moved on and they
Aye.
can't fit in. And if it's a difficult thing, something that I think we don't talk about enough.
But
and I
that's
think,
why talking is good.
Yeah.
Communication. You don't know how somebody feels. See all this, how you doing? Do you know my worst thing in the world is when you see somebody go, how you doing? They go, fine, or they go, good. I went, no, you're no. No, you're no. Tell me how you really feel. You know, so when somebody sees me, I go, I'm fucked off today, but I'll be out it. That was 2 minutes ago, but I've met you and you made me happy, let's go. You know, it's telling the truth.
Yeah.
And we're always in society's rules of keeping everything all nice, and then you go home to yourself at night and you're like, because as I say, you're lying to people, you're lying to yourself, so we're living a lie all the time.
I think we're doing a good thing moving away from all the council TV stuff and all that kind of stuff, because I think that's brainwashing it.
Well, it's
and what they
COVID now,
talk
innit? We're
about.
podcasts.
Yeah.
We're podcasts out of bananas.
Like, podcast brilliant, you know, and you get real life, the BBC and all that.
They don't show it.
It's
It's
nonsense.
well,
They
it's
beat
not
around the bush, don't
totally.
they?
It's all,
Because
it's not so much propaganda, but they only show you what they want.
they've got
you to
rules, haven't they? Or the news or
See.
everything
I don't watch
else.
it, and I
It's-
can't be bothered.
I can't watch it anymore
No.
simply because you're loose women and all these
I
shows.
don't
It's
watch
all
it,
the
I
same
never did.
bullshit. How do
No.
we fucking do this? How do we make everything?
I'll Google
sharp?
something that I want to watch that of interest. Like, say I was splitting up with somebody a while back, and I was a bit down about it. I thought, right, podcasts, YouTube. How do I feel better today? You know, I was with a narcissist. Actually, I'm a fucking narcissist. You know, and then you go into, and then they prove all these other things up, and all of us see after it. I'm like, yes, I'm strong.
Some
And I
great
feel
things, by the way.
Imagine. 'Cause
Unbelievable
people
content.
are talking now. People, well, you know, they're talking, but some people, like all my DMs for the women that I get are always, I would love to be more like you. Don't know about that. I'd love to be more like you and have confidence. Just say it like it is, no give a fuck. And you know, and I'm like, but you can.
Yeah.
It's no a secret pill. You know, you just get up and go. Like, I've got a council cooker, right, and it's ugly. But at the end of the day, and my colas evaporated on it for Iceland because you buy them in bulk, and it was still on. So now all my council rings says Diet Pepsi on them, right? So it looks quite nice, it's fancy. My pals will come up and laugh. So I've got this council cooker, right? And I always go back to it and think to myself, it's no broke, so I don't need to fix it. I don't need to buy a fancy cooker to make me feel better about my life. The fucking cooker works, and that's all that matters. And it makes me happy. So even if I've got a date and then we start to see each other and he comes to my house and goes, oh, look at your cooker, I go like that. But the cooker isn't who I am. I am who I am. And this is where people are lost. They're so into society that you've got to have this, you've got to have that. You don't need to have anything. You can live your life. See, when we were kids, we had dreams. And it's only when you grow that you grow into what society tells you what your dream should be. Like, I'm a banker, but I actually wanted to be a writer or an artist, or, you know, I wanted to travel the world and save the elephants. But people think, oh, I can't do that. How? Because they get into, well, I've got my job and I've got this. Because we get set into clocking in and clocking out every single day to the day we die.
Yeah.
And then when you're lying in your books, you're not going to go, I'm glad I clocked in and clocked out. No, you'll go, I wished I would have saved the fucking elephants. I wished I'd have went that holiday. Yep. So I'm all about right now. This is what I'm doing right now. I don't make any plans, and I like my life to be like, I know everybody's not like that because they get fearful, but that's because they probably still watch Loose Women. They're watching the news. The news gives you pure fear.
It's weird because I was thinking that the other day. It's the same shit.
Constantly.
Christmas adverts, Easter adverts.
That's the only time I know it's Easter.
Holiday
I've not got any
adverts.
kids, so nobody comes home from school and goes, Mammy, it's Easter. It's Easter holidays. I've got to watch. Well, I don't watch the news. I got to my mammy. She's the news. She watches it.
I had the Virgin TV on the football. I was watching the football last night, and then obviously flicked it to Channel 1 or flicked it back before I was turning it back over to Netflix, and it came up and it was like Christmas, blah blah blah.
You're like, what?
I thought it's the same clock in, as you say, clock in,
Clock
clock out,
out, clock in.
bullshit.
And then you're
How
old.
are we happy doing this nonsense constantly? The same stuff. Like, you'll get. I'm starting to clock into people now, and I'll meet them and it's the same shit. Oh, the weather's taking a turn for the worse now. Oh, the weather's shit. Oh, the cold nights are coming.
All that
Shut up.
talk.
Have you got anything else?
I know. I was in a
give me
sandwich
more.
shop yesterday. The
Give
lady
me more
went,
of you.
She said, "Oh, that's it turned nippy." I was like, why don't you nip me and we'll find out what's going on. I just think...
Like, give me more of you. Give me something you've been doing. Give me how you're feeling. Give me what you're up to, you know.
But that's the thing of, how you doing? I'm fine.
Aye.
They go, I'm fine. How are you? I'm fine. Nobody's telling the truth. Nobody's really talking and communicating.
I tell you what, wait till you tell some of your shite. I done it as an experiment when I started the podcast. People would make me an ass at how you doing, absolutely shite. Straight away. They'd be fucking off skate.
They're off skate. I need to want to hear the shit.
Humans don't give a fuck.
No, they want...
Some of us do.
They want the surface level.
Yeah.
In the surface level, we're all surviving. But when we leave that person... Because do you really know somebody? Do you really know somebody? If you really... You know how, like, I've spent years with people and I don't know them. Because we were never, ever really, really spoke. And I had a boyfriend and I used to sit and go... I'd love to get deep with you, you know, because he was a shallow person. And I was like, love to get deep with you, let's get deep. And you know, I wanted to get deep sexually, but never wanted to get deep in a conversation. And I said, I'd love to know your soul. I found that the cunt didn't have one. It was what it was. It was one dimensional. I can't help that. I've had a mad life. I've got a million dimensions. So the compatibility was never gonna, and that's why it always goes back to that.
I had a pal, and not a pal. I had a person who's wrote into the page, and I've read the email, and then I've went back to it that night, and he's talking about his best pal. Right. He says, "I'm fucking my best pal, and I've just found out he's battering his missus. He's been battering her for years."
Right.
I'm like, how do you even?
Aye.
First, I'm thinking, how do you not know? But much more complicated than that. Fuck's sake! Like, wow, it's your best pal, and wow.
But
how do you know someone? That's
what I'm saying. Now you don't. I kept things for everybody.
Jeff Dahmer.
That was going on in my life, in my relationships. You know, like I've been battered by an ex and put in hospital and all the rest of it. And I mean, I was hiding it, putting makeup on it. Oh, I'm not well for a week, so it would go down a bit. I've done it all, brutal. You know. So I became the woman that I'm most dislike. But the good thing about that is I know that I used to be very judgmental. Like, why can't you be strong? I used to preach to everybody. Why can't you be strong? Why can't you go over it? Why can't you just, you know? And I used to be like, well, of course you can. It's like that, and it's not like that. So I maybe had to go to that place to learn that it doesn't work like that. We get into that routine, as we talk about, and into that security and into that false kind of a love and life that we're living in, and that becomes the norm. It becomes the norm, and you
Why
don't
do you
even
think
see
it is that people don't want to deal with other shit? I used to tell the story of two people get in a bubble together. You know what I mean? They get in a bubble together. Their kids then enter that bubble, and they just go through life in their bubble. Maybe their auntie's struggling, their granny's struggling. Yeah. Oh, are you struggling? All right, okay, that's a you problem. I'll care. I'll text you. But that's your problem. We're just going in our wee bubble going along. Why do you think we don't grab people and bring them into our bubble? And some people do, of course, but grab people, bring them into our buckle, harness them, look after them, let them enjoy our bubble, and then send them back out when they're a wee bit balanced. Why do most of us not help
other people
as much as we should? Is it human nature? Is it conditioning? Is it because, as you say, you do it yourself. Go out and tell someone how you're really feeling. Say, I'm feeling shite. And try it for a few people. They'll be off. They'll be in. Oh, yeah. Then you'll start talking. They'll be like, that's it.
No,
right out of that situation.
Listen, it happens in my posts. See if I make a post where I'm... Do you know this? Oh, they love it. They love it. I think it's funny, or I go for the trolls, right? But see when I make a post up like I did this morning saying, why can't we harness fucking love and give each other love? It's free. Why can't we build each other up? Why can't we give a compliment rather than a negative? Why can't we see when somebody's struggling and say, do you want help, rather than turn their phone? I'm going, that's nothing to do with me. You know, what better people we would be if we just really just helped other people, shared what we've got if somebody doesn't have that, or they and vice versa. And that will never do well, that post, because it's people, the ones that go, it's taking you away from you, deflecting from your own reality, where you can laugh, because maybe you're no laughing in your life, but that might touch where, what am I doing? Am I really doing enough as a friend? Am I doing enough as a daughter? Am I doing enough for myself? Because I'm a procrastinator, so I've now had to make a list where every night I go to my bed, so I will sleep better, because that's when I think about the things I should have done, and I'll go, right, I ticked that so I can get to sleep tonight because I ticked a box today. You know, so because I really know myself, so I always just think that these posts, that people they don't want too much reality.
Yeah. Whatever the answer is, no. When you're told no, people don't like that shit.
No, I know. You're right. You're right.
You know, are you doing enough as a daughter? No. Are you doing enough as a son, as a friend? No. It's mostly always no. Unless you're the mum or dad.
To think, I always think what people do is they're not doing enough for me. I think that possibly they're not doing enough for you because you're not doing enough for them. It always starts with self. If you can look at yourself and think, well, that's why I thought with certain people. When I know I'm doing my bestest, and I've gave it time, and I'm not getting the bestest back, I think I feel a bit hard done by here. You know, I'm here for you fully. And you're not there for me fully. So I know along the lines of your life, you're going to let me down. So I'll just let you down right now and save myself and find some cunt else to play with because it's not working for me with you. Yeah. So it's like the red flag thing. But see that gut feeling, that energy where you think this, I'm feeling I'm giving everything. But you really have to look and think, are you giving everything? Yeah. But then you have to ask somebody, what would you like from me? I said to my mummy a couple of weeks ago, what would you like from me as a daughter to do more for you? And she went, clean my kitchen. I went, well, that's not going to happen. But you know what I mean? But I'll get you a cleaner. You know, so you have to, maybe sometimes if you're really close to somebody, you can say, like even relationships, are we having enough sex?
What do you need from me, you know?
Can I get with my pals without you bombarding me all night? Would you allow me? It's called trust. I was seeing a guy not long ago. He lived in Hull. I was up here. The whole time I was saving for my teeth, so I didn't really go. So all he knew me when he was chatting to me was I didn't go. And then when I got my teeth done, met him, came back home, he was going to move some of his business up here, get to know me more. And he was like that, what you doing tonight? I went, I'm going to a gig. What? What do you mean you're going to a gig? I'm going to a gig. Right, and texting me all night, probably having a better time at the gig than talking to me, because you know he texts me all night. I sent him videos, pictures, the whole shit, and then the next day he went, are we not talking? I went, definitely fucking not.
I can't get people like that.
No, but I didn't know he was like that. I said, listen, you live hundreds of miles from me. It's called trust. If this has to work, you have to trust me and I have to trust you. I went, you're living still in your ex-wife's house with her and she's living with her boyfriend, but she comes and goes. Do I give a fuck? Have I asked it? No, because it's called trust, and trust is something I've got. And you're saying it's something you earn, but we're not going to grow if you've not got it for the start. Yep. Let you not trust me once I fuck up. Don't let me earn trust, because I live too far away for that nonsense, and I'm a positive person. You're living on the negative side of the street. So that's because a lot of people, when I was life coaching, these women were always like, I don't trust until they earn my trust. And I was like, no, I'm the opposite. I give trust until you fuck it up, then I take it away.
It's not that. You get these people that'll be like, it's so much about them, they forget they've got to give the 100%. Oh, you need to earn my trust. Our guys are all wankers.
No, I don't believe in that. I've always met nice guys.
See, soon as someone goes, all guys are wankers, straight away I go, you're the problem.
Yes. Did you see I made a post up yesterday saying men don't change? I made a post up that said men don't change. I went, no, men do change. Yeah. Women change. We all can change. Yeah. I don't believe in that. I don't believe all women are crazy or bitches, and I don't believe or are looking for money or whatever it is, and I don't believe all men are bastards. I have actually found nice guys in my life, but I believe if you're thinking all guys are bastards, you'll probably meet all guys that are bastards. Yeah. If you believe everybody's going to be a great person to you and treat you like a princess, you probably will. It's manifesting without you manifesting.
Yeah. It's your fucking energy you're giving
out. So if I'm running around going, oh, you know what, he's going to cheat on me, he probably will. I've never met anybody who's cheated on me.
You go into a relationship or you're dating someone and you start going, oh no, I can't trust, oh no, I can't trust this. Right.
That's your own insecurity and your fear.
How can I fucking trust you? Like, just fucking chill out. Let it flow, man. Just see what happens. It doesn't need to be in the first 3 weeks. You're trusting me. I don't even fucking know you.
But then that's what happens in it. People meet and they're all happy, and then they get a touch of feelings, and then they start to go, I wonder what lasses he's following on Instagram. And then you get to their page and then he's liked their picture, and you go, and then all of a sudden, but he was the same guy you met the first week you met him. Like, just let him be.
He owes you nothing.
No.
She owes you nothing.
No,
right
exactly.
now until yous are together. Don't know you fuck all. You're a stranger, mate. You know what I mean?
But this is what I mean. So, I think social media is fucked things up that way because of DMs.
Or is it us? Because we have to react to everything we're given to. If someone's trolling me or anything like that, I see it for what it is. You're trolling me because you're unhappy, mate. I don't give a fuck. You can say whatever the hell you want to me. It's not
you're powerless or somebody's thoughts of you.
Me.
You're powerless.
But if I take that in, then that's me. I know that, wait a minute, what am I doing? Why am I
You've
insecure
won.
now?
You've crumbled, you've won.
I need to think of, right, what's making me insecure now? Is it my relationship? Is it that? Because that comment shouldn't have got to me. Have I done something wrong and it's got to me because of that way? But apart from that, say whatever you want. This is keyboard warriors. This is the new age. It's going to get worse until it's checked.
Aye.
We are moving into this age. I can't do anything about it. It's like people who moan, man, fucking these phones and all that now, they're taking over. Yes, they are. It's
But
the same as when there was no TVs, and then TVs came in. All these TVs, every family in the country sitting in watching their TVs. Yes, because it's the new fucking way. You know what I mean? Kids are given iPads in first year now. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
They submit their homework on a fucking iPad now. Do you know what I mean? It's
Say aye in it, but they don't. That's what I'm saying. The like the talking aspect, the communication aspect, as we saw people sitting in restaurants no talking or no happy. How many people you go and they're not even looking at each other? Like they detest each other, yet they go to bed every night together with each other, booking holidays together with each other, and they can't even have a real conversation with each other because it becomes harder because you're together but you're drifting further apart.
Or you're booking holidays so other families see you're going on holiday.
Aye, there's the Joneses, isn't there? There's all that. That's the worst.
Nonsense.
I think that see when I went to the AA with my ex, I learned that I suffered from ego and pride, so I would never ever tell anybody if I was going through something. And also I'm used to dealing with it myself, which is fine, and I've always done that because I never wanted to get my mammy in trouble with the school, so it's always been ingrained in me, deal with it yourself, right? So but then I'm as a life coach telling people to communicate and talk and share, right? But at least I'm very much aware of my traits, my strengths and my weaknesses, so and being self-aware. But this is the thing, and people don't, we blame social media, but you can turn I remember when I was ill for a couple of days, I turned the phone off, and it was my happiest couple of days. I felt alive and free. I was, I actually phoned people, no voice notes, like hi, how you? And it was just friends rather than a voice note, a text, or a WhatsApp, a DM. It's exhausting.
I went down to see my uncle who's turning 70, right? And I was talking to him about that exact situation. You just brought it into my head. And he goes, Kenny, I'll tell you what, he said, I've lived for nearly 70 years. Humans blame every single thing that's new. Anything that's new in this world, we will blame, whether it's social media, whether it's TV, whether it's the 80s, the 60s boom, the drug boom, anything that's new, we will blame for our own actions. We will blame it. At the end of the day, it's our decisions. We choose how we react to situations. We choose what we do, and we are in control of our own choices. Totally in control of our own choices, unless a gun's pointed to your head.
Well,
or the external. You know what I mean? Like what were the small things that we're maybe not of control of. But
what about this? What about me saying to you, I get trolled. I don't want to get trolled. If I don't want to get trolled, shall I just come off social media and live a silent life and not go there? Because therefore or should we just accept the good with the bad and the semi-ugly? You know what I mean?
Trolling's a part of social media. Yeah. It's going to be until they regulate it. I think obviously trolling actually gets social media bigger because drama creates TikTok. You know what I mean? You'll go on to someone's fucking thing on TikTok who's all them mad drama merchants, you know them, it's all the same, and it's the same shit. You go on and there's like 2,000 people watching, 3 guys for fucking
you make the best post of your life, all interesting, full of wisdom, and 6 people liked it.
Awareness, mental health, everything, the best.
But then there's these people like, you're a cow, you're a can't bite your house, and they're like, oh my god, I love this, because it's better than Coronation Street. That's and it. These are the majority of people that would log in to these type of programmes, that are logging in for their house, and the drama's keeping them from probably saving their own wee soul. I'd rather watch happy stuff, like stuff that's going to fulfill my life, make me a better person, and that is but I think that's the difference of some people.
Well, I think humans love drama. Not all humans love some sort of drama. The drama that stimulates them, they'll jump on it a second.
I don't know if I like drama.
You go down TikTok and there'll be any kind of, not just drama, that kind of drama, any kind of, there'll be a car crash or something's happening, or you're on straight away like that, oh my god, what's happened? Oh my god.
Oh, like that, right, okay.
50,000 people on this live stream, man, like that. Oh my god, what drama?
Sharks out the water, people are running around people out what's happened.
Aye, people love it. You know, we love that as humans. So, but it's regulation in our choices at the end of the day. If you don't like social media for what it is, and you don't want to use it, don't fucking use it. If you do like it, or if you like it but you don't like some of it, then fucking regulate it. Regulate who you follow. You know, if you don't like what Kim Kardashian does, and
don't complain to her.
Don't follow her.
And don't troll her. That's what I say. If you don't like what I do, scroll past. Don't to be nasty. I've done come at your page and give you my opinion of you because I don't like give a fuck. I don't have one. It's always pictureless cunts anyway. But I don't think you should have to come off at you because you get your own wee platform. But as I've always said, I don't take it personal really, because see, at the end of the day, you know you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Not everybody's going to like you, just like you don't like everybody. That's the way. Well, I can't control what people think of me, but the only person I go to bed with every single night, I know to the day I die, is me. So that's the only person I can control, and the only person I really, really got to love is myself. And I've got to know that when I do these things, some of them are right, some of them are wrong, but as long as it doesn't really affect anybody, I'll take responsibility for that. But that's the only person I can control. And even though you've got a baby, it doesn't really matter. You don't even control them because they're going to grow up and have their own opinions, and you don't want to be your dad all over again. As in, can I touch your feet? Can I wash them?
Or 100%.
So you have to let people be who they are, right? And it's hard because of the judgment, right? But the good thing is, I think with COVID and all these social media things, there's so many different people on different platforms saying and doing different things. We now realise, now like this woke about conspiracy theories and all that. It was always underground. Now people are talking about that. The Earth is flat, and people are all talking about all different things now, right?
My mate's on that.
Right, so there's all these different things, right, that we all talk about, that we were never allowed to see because we had the channels, and the channel was channeled as a programme. A programming is into, this is good, this is bad, whatever. No, and we were reading the news, and it was the same news all over again. They'd only tell you what you wanted to hear. So now we've got all these different things we can get into and we can learn about, and that's been the bestest thing about all this that's happened, because we did need something to stimulate and give us entertainment day and night. And all this is took a boom, like podcasts and people being honest. I mean, I never really thought I would ever talk about these things. It's took me a couple of years with somebody saying about a book, and I thought, well, I really need to talk about, because people go, what happened to you? Where did you move to London? And I go, it's too long a story. My story's so long. But the good thing is people are really getting to know the insights of people, and then they're thinking, that happened to me when I was younger, and then I never wanted to talk about it because I thought it was my fault, and now I realise other people are going through it and it's all right to share.
Yeah, I think that's a huge thing, talking about things that people can relate to, you know, and I think that we have a responsibility when we're working on our mental health to go and search for all this kind of stuff, search for stuff we can relate to, people who are going through the same stuff, take bits of their story, take bits of his story, her story, their story, put it together with ours, and then do the things that can bring us out of our difficult situations. You're absolutely spot on.
Because it helps you.
Social media can be the best thing in the world. It can be the worst thing in the world. You know, it's circumstantial. It's what you take from it as well. Trolls is the life of trolling is really complex. I was watching a YouTube video, and it was saying, so if someone there's someone making a video about their dead relation, someone goes on and has a really horrible comment about that said dead relation.
Right.
Okay. You don't know if it's your best pal. It could be. It could be your sister. It could be your auntie. It could be your ex-husband, your ex-wife. It could be a neighbour. It could be someone in fucking Nepal that you don't even know. It could be someone in America, Tunisia, whatever. You don't know who's made that comment, that said troll.
Yeah.
Okay? But what I think we need to think about is how complex and how horrible a place that person must be, and how difficult a place they must be to have wanted the need, might not be hate, but might to have wanted the need to have said that. It could be absolute joy. They're sitting going, fuck yous, which is a kind of manifestation hate, you know, and it might be what turns them on.
Somebody just likes to wind people up. There's that as well.
There's fucking serial killers out in the world. It might be what turns them on, man. They might be fucking, I'm just searching the internet to write horrible things about people.
Aye, there is that.
To get likes, to get hate, and to get drama. It's fucking, we don't know. This is why with trolls, I can't take a troll serious, because I sometimes just think that could be my best pal.
Yeah, I mean, I've got this site with me on it that they all hate, and some of them I went to school with, because they know too many things that have happened personally when I was at school, and then some of them I knew when I lived in other areas, and some of them are my ex's ex-girlfriend, their new girlfriend, my ex-best pal, even my ex-husband. I was working on the radio, and he phoned the radio up and said, "I'm going to sue you." She said Turkish, because because they were asking me, "Do you believe in online dating?" I said, "Well, I met my ex-husband on it, but also divorced the bastard, so I'm not too sure." So that was fine. And then he was like, "Oh," so he was actually sitting watching me. 7 years of being divorced to watch me on a thing to troll me, and it's like, why can't you just all go on with your life?
I just feel sorry.
I wish you the best. I wish you the best, but I want the best for me. We're any work out friends and family and people. Get on with yourself, but they think they've got no life to sit and watch yours. They've got one God-given life with their name attached to it, and they're sitting watching your life unfold.
It's a great compliment.
No, but it's me. I just don't even. I'm too busy in my own life to even care. You know, I feel not a bit of sadness, but what kind of life that must be, that you're sitting watching other people's lives.
It's a sad life.
And then saying something about somebody that you don't even know. Like I'll say, I just bleached my hair myself, and it's a mess. So people will go and go, "Do you know she just bleached her hair? It's a right mess." I know it's a mess. Imagine bleaching her hair. As if they found out by themselves.
Yep.
And I'm like, you can't out somebody who just outed themselves.
All you need to normally do is just look at a profile and go, "Right, okay, I understand why you're saying that. I understand." Or they've got a no-face profile, and then I understand even more. But sometimes you just look and you think, right, okay, you're true. Well, okay, right, okay, move on. Because you can just, I feel sorry for you, please. I always say, like, the trolls need the biggest amount of help.
Aye, but they are so far from getting help, but that's why they're deflecting onto you.
They can't see it. They can't see they need help. They think it's okay.
On my For You page, I've got a few TikToks on my For You page. I popped up, right? While I was going through other people's videos, I popped up from my other page.
Yeah.
I went, "Look, this cunt, who's she?" I went, "Oh, it's me." Right? And then I understood why maybe I was getting trolled, because the confidence and the happiness and the no giving, living life, and it's Tuesday afternoon and I'm in the pub, just fell off. And people are like that, "I've got my washing today, I don't like my man, my cat just peed on my feet, and this cunt's running about dead happy, dead confident." And that's not a lie, but that's how I'm choosing to live my day, because I think we do have choices of how, because I could wake up and go, "Right, I've not got much money, it's raining outside, I've got an old council cooker, everybody laughs at. I need new curtains, my pole fell down, I can't find a handyman on Tinder to come and fix my pole up. What am I going to do in my life? I'm staying in and I'm depressed."
No being shagged in 3 months.
That's never happened in my life.
But the whole thing is, you'll know through NLP, the humans are programmed to prefer the negative over the positive. We normally always take flight, but and sometimes I don't act on it, but sometimes I'll be guilty of it as well. I'll scroll down TikTok, something will come up, and I'll look at it and I'll pick something straight away negative about them and maybe say it in my head.
But you'll never write.
Never type it, but I'd maybe say it.
Because you don't need to.
And I think, why am I thinking that? They've come up, they're doing good, why am I thinking he's a bit much, or he's a prick, or she's this, and it'll come up to me straight away. It's so natural. Off, man, fucking
diddies.
Aye. Like, and then I think, whoa, wait a minute, what am I doing that for? No, they're actually quite good. Respect. Do you know what I mean?
Because they're putting it out there, and it's so out there for extreme love or hate, and that's what it is. They're not just sitting like, in the middle ground of, I want everybody to love me, so I'm not going to. Because I remember with some TikTokers, when we first all got TikTok, and they were like, "Well, let's all meet in the park." It was like, we called ourselves the big TikTokers because we had a couple of followers.
Brilliant.
And I was filming, some people were filming. "No, don't put that on, I don't want them to see that part of me." Because they only wanted the likes, they only wanted that side to be shown. You know what I mean? So I was like, "Oh, all right then, I'll just put everything out there."
What you do find when you meet a big group of TikTokers or a big gathering, you turn up and you're like, "You're not your TikTok, you're not." No,
exactly.
TikTok. You're definitely 100%. Not like your TikTok.
That's what happened to me.
I don't know who you are. "Oh my God, you're right, okay. You're not your TikTok." And you see that, you are your TikTok.
Right, so I've never took a line of that stuff in my life, right? I never took any drugs because I never drank till I was 26 properly, right? So obviously I'm making up for it.
It's important to mention, not a line of that stuff, a line of cocaine.
A line of cocaine, as long as I can say that. If I can say cunt, I can say cocaine.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
The cunt and cocaine, I've never took a line. People used to always think I was on something because I was all hyper, right? But I'm just happy to talk. I was an only child, so I see somebody, I'm desperate to talk to them. So I've never took any of that drug. I want to try something before I die, but I'm just a wino, right? So when I went to the park with all the big TikTokers, I'm drinking the wine like you do, but I didn't realise when you're drinking, you take something to bring you back down the straight and narrow. So I'm wondering why I'm like, I thought I'm getting off of this tree right now, right? And they were all filming me. Right, and the next day it's all our TikTok on people's pages, me drunk as an absolute skunk, and everybody's like that, thinking they were great, and I'm embarrassed.
Well, they're on the gear.
Aye, and there's me gearless, absolute gearless, showing my pantless off because I was steaming, and I kind of nobody ever believes me in this day and age.
Should have went straight on. Says, man, I'm fucking
just
out my nut on the
buckfast. Look at her. I've not tried buckfast. I'm
and then on the cocaine.
Blanc. Anyway, they were like, look at her steaming. She's an alky. When these are all fucking taking all sorts of tablets.
Well, if you'd said it, they would all known how real they were.
I've said it now, and I'm so happy to say it now because it's one of the things when some of my trolls will write and go, oh, she's out again, she's out all night, where she get her energy, she must be like full of the drugs. And it's one of the things that I'm actually proud of, because with my fucking upbringing I should be dead and gone and fucking like that because I couldn't take it all in, and I've kept my I've kept my frame of mind. I know I don't need anything like that, so
I always think if you're real you'll admit it. And I always see that with people everywhere. I'll say if you're real you'll admit it. Oh no, unless it's going to directly affect your job. You're a policewoman or anything like that, or a judge or whatever. Which, I know plenty of police that love the old gear, but if you're, unless it's going to finger your job or anything, if you're real online or whatever, you'll admit taking cocaine. If not, you're full of shit. And that's how I see people now.
I don't look down on anybody that does what they want to do. It's good luck to you, do what you want. I'm not going to preach to, don't preach to me, let's live our life in back.
I know insurance people that take it, I know policemen and women who take it, I know fucking people in all sorts of jobs who take it. It was always a high up drug. This is the thing. It was never really a poor drug.
Aye.
It was always the top of the top that took it. It's another
It's such a thing to say though, isn't it?
A terrible drug as well. Let's be honest, a terrible drug. I've been on my worst ways been on cocaine.
Right.
I've not took it that often. I was the same. I didn't take anything until I was really, really older. Then I went in a phase I wanted to be like my big brother. He kind of died with the drugs. He was a bit drug daft, but in a recreational sense, loved these parties, and I tried to feel like him and be like him, and then noticed, whoa, this is not a fucking very good place. I'm suicidal for 4 days after taking cocaine. I really want to end my own life. I'm getting fear, I'm panicking, I've got anxiety, I feel everyone's looking at me, talking about me. It's a horrible place to be, and I know people who are doing that every single fucking day.
Aye, and until the days are over.
Yeah, or every single weekend, and off, and it is ruining lives. It is. Let's be honest. It's ruining a lot of lives. It's crumbling people. This new prop is crumbling people. It's a scary drug.
Aye.
But yeah, nearly
because people will take that and take so many other
5
things
and
as
6
well.
people take it. It's fucking nuts. And probably, I don't know what the statistics are now, but in a night out, you're trying. It's hard to find someone who doesn't, isn't it? It's scary.
Well, everybody I get with that, you see, everybody I get with, excuse me, who drinks. They're, I'm like, I'm a bit drunk, and they're like, so I was, and I'm like, I'm used to so that's just, and
you can always tell now. You can always tell.
Of course, you can tell. And people should know that because I'm always steaming. Yeah. That cunt's falling about again, so they should.
If you're steaming and falling about, you're no on the gear. I tell you that right now.
No.
If you're like that, yeah.
Listen, I've got a virginal nose. That's all I'm going to say, because I've met with a person who'd like. So they can't take any more other lives, like, exes and stuff. They just, I take it, I've took it all my life. And I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? But
obviously it's a big thing I deal with, and I've helped many people, especially men, face their cocaine problems, and it's fucking, I've seen that stuff tear people apart, tear them apart until they were just a mess. And there'll be people watching this who I know are big fans of the podcast who have really bad cocaine problems who will be watching this in tears, and it's a serious drug, and it is ruining so many lives in Scotland.
Well, when I went to the AA, sometimes it was the AA, because my ex was like AACA, so I used to listen to someone, they got up and they the table and you'd hear their stories, like you'll lose everything before, and then you might even lose yourself, but you'll lose everything before you actually realise that the next step is your life. And you know, it's amazed that people who are the highest up jobs with the best life can just keep frittering and thinking that tomorrow's going to, they'll change tomorrow, they'll date next week. It's like the Monday diet, innit? It's never going to, you know, you eat your donut on the Monday, you go, start next Monday. Why is it a fucking Monday? Just stop now. But it's you do need the help, and I never understood that till I went there. And I read some of the big book, and I always think, even if you've got an addiction or know, that big book is such a good, it's so interesting and brings up things in your life, you know, who's damned you and who's hurt you, and have you forgave them, have you forgave yourself, that you allowed yourself to be hurt, you know, because it's a two-way situation. And the amount of lovely people that are on drugs, and you go, but you don't need it, but then they're just in a different place. And years ago, my uncles all died of alcoholism, and my mammy said, why do you cry at their funerals, to your family? And I said, because they left young kids behind, and they get told they were going to die, and they chose that to other kids. I didn't understand. I know it was an illness then. I just saw it for what it said in the tin. I didn't want to. I've gave up. I've left my kids' dad list, and I'm fully. I get fully, and I killed myself through it. But it's it when I was there and I seen these young people with everything to live for, doing everything to kill themselves. It's.
The cocaine problem now is difficult because we've got so many young kids now who and it's hard to put this, who may think they're addicted but are not addicted.
They just want to be in the part of the fitting gang.
Oh, well, my thoughts are they take it Friday to Sunday, but don't Monday to Friday.
Right.
Can you be addicted if you only take it Friday to Sunday? Can you possibly? And that's probably
the weekend drug, the weekend high.
When I went out and done it the few times I done it, all right, I was taking massive amounts, terrible, and getting myself in a right bad place. I've been addicted to a few things. I knew that if I would drink alcohol, there was a 9.7 chance I was going to take cocaine. 9.7 chance. I knew it. 1, the people I was going out with. 2, the places I was going. 3, the moods I was in before I was taking it. And drink was a trigger that made me fearless straight away, boom. I knew that. So I then needed to strip it down, write in my wee book, the reality. The realities are, I'm going to feel like shit. I'm going to ruin my life. I'm getting horrible heart pains. You know, I'm taking far too much. I'm dying for 4 days. You know, really anxious. It's ruining my fucking life. Sometimes I couldn't even focus on what I was doing. It's really horrible. I knew that. So then I knew if I'd cut the drink out, I wouldn't take the cocaine. The cocaine wasn't something I thought about. It's not even something I liked, or not even something I would really... Just when I was drinking, want a line, boom, done, best night of your life.
And you're thinking, I'm just going to take one, I bet.
The most horriblest time in the whole world follows that. So once I knew that, I knew if I take the drink away, there's no cocaine. Came off the drink for 9 months. Remember that? Came off. 9 months I came off, didn't touch drink. Straight away. Right. And people would go, why are you not coming out? Why are you not coming out? No chance, not coming out.
I'm not going to do
not drinking. That door. You want me to take a drink? If I take a drink, I'm taking a line of coke. I'm not doing that. Fuck off. So I changed the people I went out with, and I would start go out sober. So I done this online on Instagram. I went out 5 times sober. Some of the best times I've ever had in my life. I could remember everything. I could fucking... I was
came bed happy. Wow. You didn't eat 15 Papa John's because you're trying to... and it's just the whole thing, isn't it?
Maybe a wee McDonald's treat on the way home.
I know, but you know what I mean.
To say thank you to myself,
you're forever giving yourself something.
Brilliant.
Listen, see when I was on these dating apps, right, and it would say next to the guy's name, teetotal, I knew what that meant. Because they're at that age where it's taking their soul. They were loving it in their 20s, maybe doing a bit in their 30s, whatever, and then they've got to that point where there's the war and they can't do it anymore. So I already know. No, I just do it. I want to get health. No, you need it for your fucking health. You need it for your life, mate. If you want that to pump and that to work, you need to stop. So I would always say, good on you, you know, because I think it's always nice to just give somebody a pat on the back, and it's always that just one day at a time. One day at a time for all of us, you know, for everything that we do. But I would always know that these people have been doing it for so long, they're saturated, and there's nowhere else for me to go
Yeah.
but stop. And it starts with the drink, because maybe drink wasn't the problem, but it becomes the problem because of the things that you're taking out with the drink. You know what I mean?
And it might not have been any of them that's the problem. It could have been the lifestyle before it, what happened, where you dealing with your problems, were you confronting them? Probably not, because you were drinking and putting them away. When you get a drink, you forget, you feel good, your anxiety disappears. It's easy. Were you talking to your mates? Were you going to the doctors? These are all things our young men and women need to think.
For a lot for men, because we're never allowed to be emotional. They were always having to suck it up and just take it on the chin and never tell anybody. I feel I'm failing. I don't feel I'm doing well. I don't really like myself. Something's happened, or whatever it is, because I've got to be macho and manly, and women expect that, because it's like what you're greeting, what you're down, what you do, you know that. So that's where their place they would go to let it all go, to vent basically. And now you're finding there's more mental health and there's more men talking than ever, and it was all stuff they've been storing up that were never allowed to be. Now, like, to be, I couldn't cry in front of my ma, I couldn't tell my brother, I could, you know, I see it, I watch it all the time. And because women are allowed to be emotional, crazy bastard and wrecks, do you know what I mean? They're allowed to go, and it's like, oh, she's crazy again. We're allowed that. All right, we're going through our own stuff as well, but that men were always having to shield and never ever I remember years ago I said, he cried, oh my pals, he cried, oh he's lovely, because he's got a heart and he's emotional. Listen, everybody's human. We all cry. Everybody's crying. It's just that now you're allowed to say it out loud, and nobody's going to judge you for it. Nobody's going to judge you for saying, I'm addicted to this, I'm addicted to that, I fucked up. It's actually, you're merely a human, and you're helping people along the roadway that are listening, going, I feel a wee bit better, because they've been through the same as me and they're seeing it live the rooftops. So I know I'm not a fucking alien, you know, and this is what this is all about.
See, I've sat with people with addictions, so I know I've got addictions, and I've sat in front of a group and other people have opened up about their addiction, and other people have stayed quiet because it's not, maybe
they're not there yet.
They're not there yet to open up. In this world now, I think. And I had a big rant when Paddy the Baddie came out and says, he gave that big rant that went worldwide that men don't open up because of this and that. No, mate. Paddy, there is thousands of people talking about men's mental health now. Yeah. Like me, thousands of us. It is fucking everywhere. There's help everywhere. If you can't get help now for your mental health, you're a lazy bastard.
You're not looking.
We're too fucking lazy now, our men. Us men, we're too lazy. Me included. We're too fucking lazy. We don't want to face up to our fears anymore. We've been mummied in the last 5 years off like our women and stuff, like, oh, it's okay not to be okay, all that nonsense and all that. No, fucking go and get your help. We've got to do it, because if we don't, we're going to get shat on. We're going to be in the worst place ever, and we'll go, oh, there's no help out there. Yes, there is, mate.
Do you think they're scared to go through it?
I'm too lazy. I say to it, I get these mails every single day. Oh man, can you send me some places that I can go and get better? I say, mate, have you heard of Google?
I know, I love Google. I'm Google's best pal.
But they'll be like, what do you mean? And I says, mate, you're a lazy bastard. First of all, it's here. You're too lazy. You've not even wanted to accept it. You're being lazy because you're just mailing me.
But it's the horse in it in the water.
Yeah, well, they're mailing me.
The horse is only going to drink itself.
Yeah, they're mailing me make it to feel better. That's the only thing they're doing. That they're only mailing me to say, oh, I mailed Kenny, it's all right. I've done my bit. No, because you could have Googled
somebody, so he tells about
where to
partner.
Go. Chris's house would have came up. Chris's house suicide prevention would have come up. These charities are amazing, amazing self-help podcasts. They're not stupid. They know self-help podcasts are out there. We fucking know that. It's all there for us now. We don't want to go and get it. I don't care who fucking makes it any excuse up, who says whatever. We're too lazy. Because they'll go, oh no, but this and that. No, there's no pressure, mate. Go and look it up. You don't need to tell anyone you're looking it up. Just go and look it up.
Guilt will bring people into their story.
Guilt's our only stuff. We don't need to fucking... There's no guilt. We can't feel sorry for ourselves anymore. This is how it's going to keep going. If we keep mummying... Like, oh, it might be guilt, or you don't want to burden anyone else.
Blame as well. Let people like to shift the blame.
That's the other side of it. But
you know, it was still like you. It was the drink's fault.
Yeah,
it was the drink's fault. I got a bit drunk, a bit loose in the heat, and then it was in front of me, and my 5 pals were there, and I just thought I'd take the one, and knew 4 days later I'm fucked. So it was that. No. You are in charge of your choices.
Oh, exactly.
I'll have 3 wines and go, right, this 4th one I'm going to be half Morocco, right, and I'll go, well, what do you do?
Oh, and state of mind.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I go, no. If I want to feel fresh tomorrow, and I want to get a good sleep, and I don't want to call Papa John's twice in the night, and eat like a fucking bastard and be like, I don't want to go fit in my dress. I will just have the 3 drinks and go home and have my bath and get in my bed and almost. But then I'm like, it's hard.
Free
it's
drinks. It depends if you're that depends if you're drinking for free drinks or if you're drinking to get drunk. My drunk's 10 pints if I'm drunk.
Oh no, I get drunk. I'm fucking 5'1", 5'2".
I'll make that
just
decision.
Look at wine.
I say that to my mate. I says, listen, it's your decision to. I always say that to myself. I says, the drink. If I'm drinking, I'll take the cocaine, so I can't drink. Mm-hmm. You can't make the decision to drink.
2 pints and get home.
But then now I can drink and not take cocaine at all. Mm-hmm. I go out drinking all the time, no cocaine.
Is that since the 9 months now that you've realised you've got through it?
No, I just don't think of the cocaine. I don't want to take it, and I'll never take that again. There's no, that cocaine that'll ruin my life. Mm-hmm. If I take that cocaine,
and you know,
I'm
when
fucked.
You ruin your life, everybody that loves you around you that's standing and supporting you, it's going to ruin theirs. It's a ripple effect.
It's being real to yourself. Back then, I was lazy. I knew in my head, if I take this cocaine, I'm going to feel fantastic for the next 12 hours.
It's discipline and consistency. Yeah. See the other 2 things I struggle with in life and all on procrastination. When I've got discipline in my life and I've got consistency with the discipline, right, and I'm looking at myself as another person going, don't go there, don't do this, don't say. When I'm doing that, that's the happiest I'm at. But I'm a bit of a free spirit gypsy and do what I want with no plans. But when I'm like that, it's like whatever. So I need to remember if I want this and I need to do this to get to that, I need the discipline and consistency. Mm-hmm. So it's like, right, I'll go for this, but I'm not taking that. So it's the discipline. You know what I mean? You see these people with the bodies now and they go to the gym, and if they just go, I'll go back next week, you know, and no bother, they're going to fall apart. It's the discipline of, I'll just have 1 pizza the night and I'll start my diet tomorrow. But that one stopping you for starting at the day. It's the discipline. Discipline is hard. I think it's a hard thing to have. And that's the same with the cocaine. It all starts with that. It all starts with you just saying fuck it or going no. And as you were saying, you know, it's hard to do that.
The only other thing you've got to take in the external factors is everyone's not the same.
No.
And some people, like, you'll see someone and something will happen and they might fall apart a bit. There is no stopping them from going and taking that drink.
Yeah.
And taking that line. You can't stop them. You can't stop them. Sometimes some of them can't stop themselves. And that's
when they need to go to these places.
Yeah.
You know, because they need help, outside help.
Well, this might just be a one-off. Mm-hmm. But one-off can lead to addiction. Mm-hmm. This is the thing. There might be no stopping.
Of course it is. It brings you in. I was drinking there for like 7 days with my wee pal, not a lot, like a bottle of wine a night, because she was up for London. And I was like, after the 7th day, what's getting on in my life? And I thought, wow, it's brought me back in again. Well, the next day I was like, oh well, and I was craving it, you know, and I was like, I don't want to crave that. So when I stopped for 2 days and I was drinking the water and eating all the fruit, and I was like, that, God, I feel so much better. Why did I do that to myself? And my face is starting to fit. My eyebrows are starting to fit in my face again, do you know what I mean? Rather than look like a riot wreck. Mm-hmm. But you can feel it when you get to know yourself and you know what the triggers are, like use with the drink or the line, and then the line with the this and then that, and then all of a sudden you're in some cunt's house for 4 days, somebody's trying to phone you, turn your phone off because you can't deal with it, and it's a big mess when all you were doing was going for a pint after the football.
Have you seen the YouTube page? And it's the people who are kind of pro drugs, pro all the kind of drugs. So they're like, you don't want to take drugs because it ruins your life, but for our lives we love it.
I've not seen that.
I'll send you.
Oh man!
For our lives we love it.
Don't I might love it?
No. It's like everything. Everything's got another side. They're like, if I go out a night out, or Raven scene and all that kind of stuff, they're all. I say they're all mental, but they're all just. They do their thing. Oh no, I don't get a hangover from cocaine. Doesn't ruin my life. So why can't I not take it? Isn't that such a difficult question? And
I say I don't get hangovers because I always say my body water's just wine, so I'm all right now. Mm-hmm. But that's fucking terrible if that's the way it's working. But I'm no pro, you know.
See, it's weird. That blows my mind that bit, because I had to look at it and first I'm like, oh, fucking nonsense, and then I'm thinking, I need to go back and watch that and just see what they're talking about.
What do you think?
They're hash, they're coke, they're eckies, they're this and that.
Blah, weed smokers are all about
my choices.
It helps me cancer. It helps me. So I don't really know too much about that. So I can't really have.
It's weird because most weed smokers I know that have smoked for 10 years, you know, they always go a wee bit.
Well,
Some of my good friends as well. Even my brother, he smoked for about 10 years and he's fucking the mumbling all sorts of shit, you know what I mean? All fucking sorts of conspiracy theories and all that stuff.
And that's that. Well,
it does have an effect, let's be honest.
Listen, I've never smoked weed in my life, but I am a conspiracy theory. I just don't tell everybody. But I do believe what I believe, but I don't preach it because I just can't bog into, not a debate, but it's just so far off the fucking scale that people are like, what? And I'm like, no, don't worry about it. Let's just get a wine. We'll just chat about surface stuff.
Remember a weed smoker used to get the weed voice after like 5-6 years?
Aye.
Come over, man. Where the fuck did that come
and then
from,
it was
man?
the big ideas. It was the big idea. And I'd be like, wow, Space Odyssey. Because their brain would go into another place where they were seeing it. And I was like, wow, you're dead. And the next day it'd be like a different, the creativeness is gone. But if you don't need all that to be creative, then, but some people
do.
Aye, and there's a lot of people I know that I've done it for years, the smoking, and they live in the smoking because that's just they don't pull out a fag, they're just pulling out that. So they're always in that level.
Yeah.
But I know people that have stopped drinking and taking coke and chose to use that because they had anger issues that try to get away from that because it calms them down. At the end of the day, stop taking fucking everything and get some help, sort your head out. Because you'll get demons. Because there's always demons, they're always fighting with the demons.
A lot of demons. And then some people will go, well, why do I need to stop taking it? You drink wine. You drink, I drink. You do this, you do that. That's your thing. Why can't I do my thing?
Mm-hmm.
This is your
thing affecting people?
This is as a podcaster, but it might not be affecting them. They might be fine on it.
Right.
One of my mates, he's fine on it. He's
but
absolutely
don't you
fine.
Think, though,
doesn't affect them.
They're fine to they're no fine.
Well,
because it's like you taking four drinks and then the next time you might take 7, a couple of months later you're on to 10, and then 10 doesn't work good, then you're taking something else, then something else, something. It's like, it's the ripple effect of let's do more.
Fine till you're not fine is probably just thinking of the future too much, or sceptilating, or thinking, because they might not make the wrong decisions. It might be 2 glasses every 2 nights.
And that's all right. Like, exactly. I don't drink a lot, but you see me always drinking, but I don't actually drink a lot. I can't actually... Like, see if you give me a glass of wine, right, and a cup or a beer glass, I want to drink it. I'm a bit of a snob that way. I just like it to be poncy. I like it in a poncy bar. I like it to be expensive. I like ice on the side. I like jazz music in the background. I want everybody to look fancy. I'm not going to an old man's bar like, gonna get your cheapest wine there, mate, and put it in that Doug's barrel. I'll just no. I like the poncy at all. The poncy nonsense. When the poncy nonsense runs out and the money's run out, I'm not going to that old bar. I'm going home. And I don't want to sit in my house and listen to Barry Manilow fucking drinking out my chip cup with a glass. I want to dress up, go somewhere and meet people and have a laugh. So I like the idea of it all. It's the idea for me, no the actual how the feeling. It's the idea.
Be circumstantial for so many people, eh?
But it's getting to the point of why, what, like, it's knowing yourself and why you do it. Because I had an ex who just smoked to get off the drink that took him to the coke. On the coke, he wanted to stab everybody. So instead of stabbing everybody and end up in the jail, he now smokes in a mellow land of loving life, right? And the demons don't come out, even though he's got the demons that are still there, but he's suppressing them because he's unhappy in his soul. And he tells you that. And you're like, see if you just quit it all. Face the demons, they might stop knocking on your door because you get rid of the bastards. But what you're doing is you're smoking and it's just another demon. It's a different demon for the coke demon and the wine demon. But you're not stabbing anybody. You're going to wake up in the jail, but you're waking up in your own bed, and sometimes you're in bed with your own self, and your demons in your head is worse than the jail because you can't ever escape yourself. I get them when I can't sleep at night with the anxiety. You can't escape yourself, so it's like a plaster in it. You're putting a plaster on a cut. Just take it off, look at the cut, and fix the actual real problem that you've got. But that would mean people would have to be honest with themselves. I don't like being honest with myself.
Coming back
sometimes.
to our realist point, being honest with ourselves, huge. Painkillers a bad one as well now, isn't it?
I don't really work for me, but I know people. I've known people. I used to work in a call centre, and some. Remember, there was a lassie there, and she used to just take Anodin all day. And I said, "Have you got a headache?" No, I just like to take them. So there was something in her head telling her just to keep taking these white tablets. And I thought, wow, I'm going to take them if I've got a hangover.
My mate always says 2 paracetamol keeps the doctor away. I'm like, oh, what?
Just eat an apple, mate.
Paracetamol in the morning.
Is it no eating an apple keeps the doctor away?
It's a wrong rhyme, mate. It's a wrong rhyme.
Is it no an apple a day keeps the doctor away?
I
with 2 paracetamol stuck in the middle.
I just don't know,
chopped
man.
up.
It's just 2 paracetamol and I can go on and start the day. You know? So
Never.
fucking that's placebo effect, man.
Well, I'll tell you what I do, right? What I do is if I'm out having a drink and I can feel, because I suffer from migraines, I can feel a slight, I will take a tablet before it hits, just to think, so I can continue my badness. Sorry, people, I'm human, but I will do that because I want to be. I don't want to go right migraine time. It's really bad.
Oh, right.
But when I was getting my teeth done, because I was there specifically for teeth, not to look at Turkish men, not to look at party, not to drink, I was like, that's the discipline, Karen. I was like that because I thought I cannot lying at that table in the dentist for 4 years, and I've got a migraine because a migraine will take the teeth, because when I have one of them, it's like death town. So I was full of discipline, so it just shows me I've got it in me.
How did you find your teeth? I got mine done as well.
I loved it, loved the whole thing.
Wee fang teeth and all that, eh? The wee fang teeth.
I know, but oh god, it's a scary moment.
I've got my pick as well, man. It's honking, innit?
What do you mean?
Just the wee fangs.
Aye, the wee horrible things.
Like tiger teeth.
Aye, the wee vampire lady. Aye, they done that to me. They said that they had to shave mine down because mine overlapped here, and to make them straight. I don't give a fuck. Just take them all away. Just give me new sets.
Get them, my fuck.
I don't care.
We'll just keep replacing them every 10 years.
They said they'll last a lifetime. Did the bastards lie?
Oh,
They
no.
said that to me.
No way.
Zirconium I've got.
All right. I don't know what mine are, but
They say they should last a lifetime. But I've stopped eating crisps, chips and dips were my favourite thing. And I knew I'm like, and I'm like, oh, because he says the first 5 months of the time where they'll try to fix
broke
themselves.
mine.
Did you or no? Did you
it.
get yours done here?
Yeah, I broke mine with Twix. A Twix. It was a frozen Twix. I'm a fucking idiot though. You know what I mean?
I had a fridge like Snickers the other night, and the nut went in. And I went, oh. I've got to watch.
No, you got to watch.
I've got to stop eating nuts.
So what's before we wrap it? We've went on so many tangents. It's been fucking great.
I loved it.
We've got a couple of things to talk about. I want to talk about the social media shit, some of the explosive social media dramas you've been in.
Okay.
It was Becca and Motherpal that told me about this, because I never go to that part of the social media,
right?
The Rosie Bush and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Jamesy, I like wee Jamesy Mac. I don't know any
Do you know,
of them. I know Jamesy.
I know what you mean. I don't scroll either. I scroll on the Americans that are going to make me laugh and make me happy, or food shows, but I don't watch all that negativity.
I'll scroll with a guy building 3 million Skittles.
Something random that's pure. Wow, you know, like that. That's what I like. Something that's going to make me go like that. But I don't watch all that. So, but I was dragged into it all, but I still never even watched it. Anybody that sent me, and I was told them, don't tag me, don't send me.
What were you dragged into?
I was getting my hair done with a lassie, and basically I told the lassie something, and I stopped using the lassie. But I stopped using the lassie, nothing to do with the hair, because even though the hair was getting fucked, right, I left the lassie because I really believed they were my real pal, and I'd asked them something and it didn't come to fruition, and then they done something else to me and I was like, wow, and then they done something else to me and I was like, wow, but we were so close. I'm not the type of person to bring in drama or bring people down, so I never said anything about it. I just stopped contacting them, and this is somebody that I was voice noting every morning, voice noting every night, and it was like sister for another mister type thing, right?
Okay.
So but I wanted to keep them in my life as a friend, but I didn't want to use them with my hair. But when they done the unfriendly thing, I was kind of heartbroken, but I never told anybody, because I'm like, well, I've been heartbroken before, so I'm going to get out of it. And because we were social media friends, people were starting to go, oh, I've not seen you with this person, I've not seen you make a video. So I thought, just ignore it. So what had happened, I'd made a post up saying my hair's getting better because I've grew out a wee bit for taking these tapes out. This person's obviously, it's her business, because when they came into my life and asked me, I'll serve you, you serve me, I'll give you free hair, you promote me. They had 300 followers, and I met them when I left them, they had 33,000 followers. And and people were always like, I go to her because of you, I go to her, and I get DMs constantly about it. So I know I put her on that map, because a lot of people didn't know who she was. She was doing old woman's hair and turning them blue, right? And then she had me making all these fancy videos. And at the time, she never knew how to kind of make these videos up. I kind of showed her, and that was fine. We mimicking videos, we'd laugh and joke, and I loved it. I loved her. So when she wasn't the friend that I thought she was, I remember saying to her, because she said to me, oh, have you come out your sulk on a voice note? And I couldn't even voice note her. I just said, do you know something? I now realise in life that this real friendship that I believe we had through fake online is just fake. I says, and that's what's hurt me the most. Because I'll miss you, know what I mean? So that was that. Anyway, I put this post out about broken hair. Next minute, it's the thing I told her that she's turned into. You know, I told her something that was grey and she turned into black, white, purple and all colours on the rainbow. Told somebody else, this person told them an absolute fabricated story. And it was all coming out in this week going, I'm going to out you, you're getting outed, this Rosie Bush person. Which I still don't dislike, because see, at the end of the day, she's just got told a story, get fed it, likes her own drama, likes drama, she's out there, she's put it out there and everybody's watched, right? But at the end of the day, it was one of these things where, you know, you can't buy a reputation. So it was like tarnishing, trying to ruin my life, my reputation. So, but you, as I say, on the social media platform, you can't control what people think of you, can't control what people say of you. You could say Amanda's been eating cheese and kicking cats for years and nobody would ever know the difference. It's up to them whether they believe it or no. So that's how I just got over it. I thought, oh, fuck you and fuck yous all. But I did feel totally like blindsided by the whole thing, because I know so much about this person, but I would never ever say it. But this has been going on since April to right this minute.
It's still going on?
Oh man.
See, I don't know what it is.
Right, so
and I don't know
feel
who
as
it is.
I feel as a Nusrin my neck now, right? So I just keep getting fake accounts, fake things saying they're getting bigger and bigger, and it's all bullshit. So I'm like, do you know what? I'm going to tell my truth, and I'm no one for drama, and I'm no one for talking about people. But do you know what? You want to come, you want to ruin my life, you fucking better watch, because I know the truth, and I'm going to tell you my truth. But I don't need to bring you down in order to save myself. But my followers have never asked me anything. They've never questioned anything. They've just always followed me and said, you make me laugh, you inspire me, I love you, I hope you have a nice day. But and I don't even need to do this, but I feel because we were talking, I'm an honest, real person, I feel like I want to.
See, probably not even her. It's probably she's probably busy cutting the 33,000 followers. He's fuck's sake. It'll probably be the other ones that love the drama.
That one did come on and say, you're trying to ruin her business with what you're saying and what she's told me about you. So, and at the end of the day, you know, this is somebody who you go into a place to get your hair done, and they've got CCTV, but you're supposed to allow people to know that you've got that up. So, and I only knew because I was changing ones for a day inside the place, and she's like, oh, the CCTV's on that people can see whatever. And I was like, all right, I didn't even know she had that. But it's the confidentiality of a client as well. But I obviously thought she was a pal. But, you know, and I remember thinking, the one wee story that I told her, I went, God, if my mammy even thought that or knew that, my mammy would fucking probably hang herself. So this is somebody that done this to me, even knowing that this is the outcome. Now, we all know the Caroline Flack story. We all know everything, right? You know, we know what social media can do. And I think, God, how strong do I need to be? Because you keep trying to ruin my life, and I've never even said anything about you. Nothing. And you've told me so much. But my book's not going to be about them. My book's going to be about me. And I know we were talking on a voice note the other night, you're like, I think you should bring about everything. But I think I always like to start small. Like, I'm bringing my own products out, but I want to bring one out, no 10. Just to see how the units go with the one.
Plans for the future, Amanda?
Yes, well, obviously I'm not a planner, but I'm going to try and plan.
You're a dreamer.
But I'm an idealist though and all, do you know what I mean? I think I've got those. Listen, I was talking to this guy that dropped me off there, and I said, I've got about 16 personalities. Whatever day you get me on's the personality and the dream of the day. So roll on the morrow.
That's like me.
Is it?
Yeah.
But I think that's creative people.
You might get me on a good day, you might get me on a bipolar day, and I'm just... But
don't you think that's the creative side of you?
If you get me on my creative day, you've hit the jackpot.
Is this a creative day? Did I get you on the jackpot today?
No, I think I'm on the... I don't know what day I'm on the day.
Right.
I think I'm on the dreaming day today.
Nothing wrong with a dream though.
I'm thinking about the future, I think.
Nothing wrong with a dream.
So what
They're
about
better
your
than
future?
nightmares.
Yes.
Well, I've got the book and the products, and the day I'm going to look at a venue with my pal Ashley, who I done the radio with, and we've just got such a, you know, you get a connection with somebody, you just bounce. She does a wee open mic night in Lebowski's, and I was doing it to help her out, and we just got on so well. So she was like, she's always wanted to do this thing where it would be like a live audience Q&A semi-podcast where people always ask me stuff, right? And this has been great because it obviously might answer a lot of things. But when I used to do the live streaming, which I don't do because it exhausts me, somebody would ask me about them, and I would turn it into them answer their own question. They'd ask me how I dealt with it, if I've dealt with it. We'd all laugh together, and it's all fucking guns and glory. And then you leave with laughter, but you leave with some wisdom, and then you find out about yourself and all.
Yeah.
And then they find out about me because they follow me. So it's like a Q&A, but within the Q&A, I'd like to bring other people in that people might be interested in having Q&A's way. So instead of it being like this, it'd be a live thing, because I'm good with 16 people around one. You know what I mean? I'm like an orgy queen.
I love that.
I had to stick that in.
Yummy.
I could just call it that. No, I'm just good. When I'm going into my pal's hairdressers and there's like 9 lasses in, I bounce off everybody and I end up, dare I say it, funnier, because people are all there. It's like a wee audience.
Yeah. You just work the energy.
I work all the energy. So that's why I wanted to do an audience type thing.
That'd be cool as
But a
fuck.
paid ticket, you know what I mean? So that I can
There's a
buy my drink.
venue that you just went into that you could do that there as well.
Is there? Because we've got to Bath Street. There's one in Bath Street she's looking at.
Right, okay.
So
Let me know.
we'll send
I'll
me
show
that.
you after this.
Aye, definitely, 100%. Aye, because that'd be good.
I think I'm going to do something similar.
Aye, that's
an
what you should
open
do.
podcast.
Maybe an open mic
Yeah.
with people, even if it's not just men, but you know what I mean, people. You know, because even when people go to the AA and it's not allowed, you're not allowed to talk about it, because you're talking about it and you're allowed to talk about it. That'd be great for you. You've obviously got a great persona and all.
Questions and all that. We could
you're
do.
good. Because I felt that way, because last night nobody ever had asked me, do you want to tell me just a brief? And I was on there.
What's about you?
I know.
Fucking-
The best voice note I've ever heard in my life was, Daddy!
Aye, I know.
Oh,
That was brilliant, one of your voice notes last night. Your talk, I can't remember what you said. It's fucking hilarious. So your voice note, I don't know if there's much to tell, and it's like, I moved to London and then found myself in Istanbul, and then I was reading this, and then I was doing this, and I was doing that, and I was doing this, and then that happened, and then this happened, and that happened. And then I ended up here, and then fuck knows how I got there. I was like, fucking brilliant, man. It's just fucking magic.
I thought, I don't know if that's too much. Maybe he just wanted me to talk bullying.
Do you know what I need to talk to you about? This dog.
Oh, the dog. My dog. Fuck. Aye. Well, my ex-husband and me, I called him a moody stallion. And a stallion means you're a beautiful, big-looking, hunky guy, which he was. He was just a boring bastard. But anyway, so he took my dog out. We split up, and then straight away I got engaged to somebody else, which is a Dugheed person. Then when I split up with him, my ex-husband was always like a friend to me because we shared the dog. But my ex, the Dugheed one, was OCD, so I couldn't take the dog to his house because he had a nice big house. So my ex always financially ended up just taking care of it, and I always saw him on Sundays and Thursdays in my wee flat in Denniston. So basically, after I split up for the guy that I was engaged with, my ex-husband helped me move out, and I secretly think that he thought one day maybe I would look at him with eyes of love again, you know what I mean? And obviously I was right on the dating scene, enjoying my life, and right on the TikTok and that, getting, popular. And I said, oh, my dog, look, he was a German Shepherd. My dog's a moody stallion, so he's going back to his dad today. So, I don't know, he's watching me, so he's watched me. Taking the dog off you, you've never seen a dog again. He's Turkish, didn't know what I'm moody. When I first met him, I was singing It's Raining Men, and he fell out with me for 3 days, thinking I was looking to get rained on men, with men on rain. He didn't get the humour gone. So I was like, that's me joking and laughing. So he took the dog off me. He says, you'll not see the dog for a long time, but I've not seen the dog for 2 years. And the dog was bought for my birthday by my mammy, but obviously he took care of it financially more so. So, aye, and it's me growing up. I've had 5 German Shepherds now. And because I've not got brothers and sisters, I've no children. My dog, when people love a dog, they'll know what I'm talking about. The people that are watching, they understand. It was like my baby. It was my hairy baby. So it breaks my heart to think I could maybe deal with no seeing him, but what hurts me the most is he might think I abandoned him. So I Google everything. Does dogs know you've left them? Is there a time preference? So I got a tarot read no long ago, and I asked her, will I ever see my dog again? She says no. And I says, is he still alive though? Because I don't even know. And she said, aye, he's still alive. My ex was good to the dog, do you know what I mean? But I think that's the only thing I get upset about. It's the only thing I cry about. You can call me everything, troll me, fucking, I don't, could break my heart by a guy, but my dog is the thing that just, because I can't tell him that it wasn't me.
Yeah.
You're knowing my life, mate, because you're I didn't leave you. Thank God he'd wanted twins and all, thank God I didn't have kids with him, because they used him as a pawn, because he's using a dog, they used kids. So it was always the right decision. Sometimes you look back to go, yes, I divorced you, a cunt, and you're a cunt, and I hope you hear this. So thank you very much. You know?
How did you end up homeless?
In London, because I was homeless in London. God, let me think. Well, I left my ex in Essex, and I had to rent a place, and the rent would run out. Where you had to leave, and I just didn't have enough money to get to another place. My friend said, well, you can come and stay with me, but I was in this drama group, this drama course in Essex, and you know, even though it was grown-ups like me that were in the course, some of them were like, you come and sleep on my couch, and their boyfriend would come in, they were like, I don't want you, you can't stay here anymore, you need to be out with the night, and I'd be like, what, you kidding me on? You know, so I went from like, I mean, that was like just under £1 million mansion where I lived in Essex with him to fucking some cunt's fucking sofa. Now I'm back in a council house in Denniston. You know, it doesn't affect me where I am, what I'm doing. So I remember working for my ex still, even though I wasn't with him. I still worked for his company, and I had nowhere to stay. He'd met somebody new, so he wasn't going to help me out. And I remember a lassie at the course that said her uncle had a spare room. And this was like at 9 at night when I was sitting in a coffee shop with my suitcase and 2 bags, thinking I don't know where I'm supposed to go right now. But like you, I was fine like Women's Aid and stuff like that. Yep. There was a hostels for £10 a night, but I didn't want to go and do that. So I was homeless, but I wasn't homeless because there is hostels. But I don't want to go. Probably, God, 20 years ago, hostels weren't what they are now. You know, even though I saw in the news the other day, shamefully, the students are like sleeping in corridors and stuff like that. But they were like old man, stinky kind of a situations that you were holding on to your dear life, you know, and you were waiting to sit up and somebody's lying in your bed licking your ear. So, so you know what I mean? That's these type of places. So I wasn't really want to go to these places. So I was, I think I was in the positions twice. Also, I lived with this woman from Peru. And when she get drunk, she said she could see the devil and God fighting and all that. So she used to come out of my room and go, and I'd be like, please, I can't deal with this tonight. I've got my work tomorrow. So I was like, I can't live with this cunt anymore. And a guy I knew for Largs was a fireman, and he's like, you can come and stay in the fire with the fireman for a couple of nights till you get somewhere to live. You didn't need to ask me that twice. No. I was like, what bed's in staying in then? So I just turn everything into a funny story, because it's like that saying, if I don't laugh, I'll greet. What's the point? You know, so anyway.
Listen, Amanda, I wish you the best future ever.
Thank
it's been
you
an
so
absolute
much.
pleasure to meet you, and you can
You
honestly
too.
say you're even better than your TikTok and your social media.
Thank you,
Much
thank
better
you.
as well. And
Certainly talk double.
no, it's been great. It's nice to meet a genuine person. I think a lot of people will take that from today. And
I'm glad.
And
I pride myself on that.
Yeah, you know, it's you know, I think credit to yourself. Guys, thank you for tuning in.
You.
We will be back next week with Claire Shine, professional footballer for Ireland and Glasgow City, just retired. And then the week after with, can't tell you that one. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Remember and subscribe, hit a wee like, follow Amanda on, what's your Instagrams?
Just look up Dugheed.
Just Dugheed.
Just look up
Just
a dog with a heat.
Dugheed
You know what I
in
mean?
any platform and she comes up. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.